Today is a day, amen, the day of joy, amen. Today is a day, amen, the day of joy. Sing, amen, amen, rejoice, amen. Glory, oh, I miss my childhood days like crazy, man. I really do miss my childhood days. Happy Sunday, beautiful people, and you all are very much welcome to your favorite Sunday in Jangi, your favorite podcast, your favorite conversation. And this is a platform where we say everything as it is and we do our best to give you the best information possible. Please, if you're coming in, do your best to share to as many people as possible. Let's have a good number of people coming in live. Like you already know, my name is Wicom and I'm your anchor man for this conversation. Today is another wonderful day where we are coming again live to talk about another very interesting topic. Before we jump deep into the topic, I want to start by letting you all know that we have some amazing guests that will be with us today. We have some interesting people in the panel that are going to be dishing out some very beautiful information. And I know for sure that it's going to enlighten us all. And we are all going to exchange ideas and learn something new. Now, those of you coming in, do your best. Like you already know. We always oh like you already know, we always do the sharing. So it's a tradition for us to do the sharing each time we come live. So do your best to share as you come in. Do your best to share. Do your best to share. Do your best to share. Share to as many people as possible as you come in. So we have this wonderful conversation. Do your best to share. Do your best to share. We have some amazing people backstage that are actually going to be blessing us and gracing us with some wonderful, beautiful insight as far as this is concerned. They are amazing gentlemen and ladies, like you all know it in the program, and that's how it is always done when it's about Sunday, and we always come in live. So do your best to share to as many people as possible, and I think we're going to be doing some live memorialization, a live memorialization here. So we have as many people. You share, you drop them more, share, drop them more, and let's get it going. Now, let's go. Please share to as many people as possible. Share to as many people as possible. Immediately, we have a good number. We get going and we dive deep into our topic. It's one of those topics that is very complex because it has to do with both people. You see, it has to do with both male and female. And anything that has to do male and female is usually very interesting, like the topic we're about to handle today. Last week was quite interesting. We had some beautiful people coming in, and this week definitely I know for sure it's going to be more interesting. So do your best to share. While we're sharing, let's drop a comment, and when you come in, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know where you're watching from. Today is a wonderful day. Those of you coming in, please drop a comment. Drop a comment so we'll give you a special shout out. Drop a comment so we'll know where you're writing from and give you a special shout out. That's how it is done here in the Sunday in Jangi. Today I came in, I was just missing some childhood days. That's why I was singing some of the songs we used to sing in our Sunday school. Oh, Ramirez. I see Ramirez, DJ Ramirez in the building. Glad to have you, Ramirez. Hope you did okay. Today is that day that is going to be very awesome. We have Akum Angel. It's been a while, Akum Angel. Glad to have you today. Everybody that is coming in, as you come in, you share. You come in, you share. Let's have as many people as possible. So we have a very smooth and nice conversation. You know, it's always a wonderful moment each time we are live because it's very interactive. We interact with you out there and we interact with our panelists, and they're always very loaded and ready to give us some beautiful information that is going to take us through and that's going to impact us. It's just about sharing information and impacting one another so we can have a better society. Those of you coming, do your best to share on WhatsApp, share on IG, because we're live on IG, YouTube, and Facebook. So share everywhere so we have as many people as possible watching. Just keep sharing. Oh, that main plug, I see you. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're doing okay. Please, those of you coming in, let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know where you're connecting from. Let us know where you're connecting from so we have a good number of people. You see? Let us know where you're writing us from so we can give you a special shout out. It's our tradition to celebrate our wonderful viewers, our wonderful family, our wonderful people that are watching from the other side of the panel. So it's always beautiful to know where you're writing from so we can give you a special shout out. As you come in, you share. As you come in, you share. As you come in, you share. You share to as many people as possible so we can have this beautiful conversation. Please do your best to share to as many people as possible. Keep sharing. So we have a good number. We jump deep into the conversation. Do your best to share. Share on status. Share on your status. Share on WhatsApp. Share on Facebook. Okay, Akumenja says she's watching from Douala. Somebody told me that there's a lot of rain in Douala lately. I also want to know carry person go. Ona kumawata be ever get that kind of rain. Do your best to share. Share so we get a good number of people watching. All right, I see some people connecting. Keep sharing. When you come in, you let us know where you're writing us from, so we can give you a very, very special shout out. Do your best to share. Facebook, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Keep sharing. As you come in, you drop a comment. Keep sharing. Keep sharing and sharing. Keep sharing. Okay. These views are decline. You guys should keep sharing. Please keep sharing. Oh, Brianna Adele, I see you. Eve, greetings to you, Eve. Eve Stefan Gallo, glad to have you, brother, and hope you're doing okay. Hope Yaoundé is okay today, and hope all of you coming in from Yaoundé, hope you all are doing great. We have just a few minutes for you to keep sharing. So we have this conversation, because today is going to be very wonderful. This is one part of life that a lot of people miss out, and it always ends up with a lot of catastrophe. That is why it is very, very, very important for us to actually handle discussions like this with people that are willing to actually share their experiences and their knowledge with us. So do your best to share. Let's have as many people as possible so we can have this beautiful conversation. It's always a very beautiful day, and it's always a very beautiful time we're here. All right, I see you. Chang Claudia, happy Sunday to you. Keep sharing. Let's have as many people as possible. Keep sharing. Keep sharing to as many people as possible. Oh, we have Loom Heidi, glad to have you. Hello from Abakwa. Hope Abakwa is okay. Hope Abakwa is good. Yeah, keep sharing. Let the views keep increasing. Once we clock 10, we are going to jump that. We're going to jump deep into the topic. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, keep sharing. Share to groups, share to other broadcasts, share everywhere. Let's have as many people as possible watching. Let's have as many people as possible watching. It's a very interesting topic, and I know you're gonna love it. A lot of people have been anticipating this topic here. A lot of people, and Today, let me not unleash what is prepared, what we have it in place. Yeah. Oh, oh, is this me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Natural Queen. We have Chan Claudia da Silva. And let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. So we have a good number of people. 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 We have Carrison, the designer. Good evening, boss. Good evening. Carrison, the designer. Glad to have you on board. As you come in, you share and you let us know where you're watching from so we can give you a special shout out. We love you all and we're glad to have you. Oh, we have Ruby Bell. Ruby Bell, a very loaded person. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And yeah, we are for real. Yeah, we're about to jump deep into the topic for today. But for now, sorry, let's keep sharing so we have a good number of people watching. This conversation is always very beautiful. That's why we want to have it with many people. So we have this beautiful, this nice, and this very, very interesting conversation. It's a beautiful one. Those of you coming in, let us know where you're coming from so we can give you a special shout out. Those of you who have been there, let us indicate in the comment section as well so we can give you a special shout out as well. Berabogo, let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. Yeah, Remy Bell says he is watching from Nashtigal Bridge, River Sanaga. Wow. This place with the yara mo. Hope the Nashtigal Bridge is okay from River Sanaga in Tweet. Wow, that's awesome. It's that should be in the central region. Glad to have you. So much glad to have you. And hope Ntui is okay. Is it cold, warm? How's the climate condition there? We equally have lovely Lizzie. Lovely Lizzie, glad to have you. Hope you're doing okay. We equally have Chan Claudia da Silva, 237 all the way, Abakwa. He says he's watching all the way from Bamda, Abakwa. We have Bridget Mbai. Oh la la, Bridget, glad to have you, Bridget. Happy Sunday. Yeah, of course. And I know for sure that we're going to have a very, very beautiful conversation with you all around. You know, in the course of this conversation, your comments are always read, and it's actually a conversation, like we say, where we have this chat. We're talking here and you're talking there, and we're actually having a great time. Brilliant, Bye, so glad to have you. Lovely Lizzie, glad to have you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's about a time where we're going to jump into the topic because today is that wonderful day where we have this beautiful topic. Now we're going to dive deep into the topic. We already have a panelist in the house, and before, like you already know it, it's always our culture to celebrate the people we bring in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wicom, and I'll be your anchorman for today. You know, it is done in English, French, Pidgin, whatever language, because we make it as relaxed as possible. So we have this conversation in a very relatable and easily understood manner. We have Madame Nadesh Ola that is going to be with us today. And definitely for sure, she's going to give us some good insight, some good information, and some beautiful aspects of the subject matter. Like we announced previously and earlier on our platforms and on other platforms where we publish our communique. Today we'll be looking at the topic preparing the boy and girl child for marriage. Preparing the boy and girl child for marriage. We have panelists who will be with us in a jiffy. And for now, let's welcome Madame Nadesh Ola. Hi, Madame Nadesh. Oh la la. Hi, Madame Nadesh.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. How you doing?
It's a
Glad to
pleasure.
have you on board.
I'm great. What about you?
All
Yeah, I'm
right,
okay,
awesome.
thank you.
All right, all right.
Good
So
evening,
you're welcome
Okoro.
on this conversation, and I must say you're looking good. And I want to find out how who is Madame Nadesh? How do we address you, please?
Um, I am Mrs. Ola Nadesh. I
Yeah,
am an English
Mrs.
language
Nadesh.
teacher,
Yeah.
and I'm married. I'm a married woman, a mother of three,
Wow.
and
A mother of
I've
three.
been married. Yes,
Wow.
I've been married for about very soon 15 years. It'll be 15
Wow.
years.
Wow.
Yes, so
You've been married
that
for
is it.
22 years?
No, 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 15 very soon. In some month it will be 15.
Oh,
So
okay,
I'm more
15
than
years.
15 years married.
Wow. I must say you deserve a good hand. The marriage still where we see people, and most people are like, but we have Madame Nadesh Ola, Mrs. Nadesh Ola, that has been in it for 15, 10, then 5 again, 15 whole years. I mean, this is something worth
Exactly.
celebrating. I know definitely today we're benefiting a lot from your experience, your knowledge, and the things you have researched on, right?
Definitely. I'll share what I know, and then together we will learn.
All right, awesome. Let's take a few comments. I equally see Madame Giselle, Helen Giselle backstage, and we will bring her in a bit. Let's take a few comments and jump back to her. We have this coming from Carson, the designer. Oh, from Carson. Carson, hope you're doing okay and hope Amine's okay. Excuse. And we equally have Brianna Adele from Boya. Hope Boya is okay. I know Boya is usually very, very cold. Final man, good evening to you. Hope you're doing okay. We have this was a beautiful smile there, madam. Yeah, sure. Her smile is really cute. And welcome to you. We have Michelle Sonfak Telzanu. Oh, we equally have hi to you. We equally have Akomejo says welcome on board, Madam Nadesh. And we have okay, welcome, Madam Ola. Final man, she's a beautiful. She has a beautiful smile. Yeah, for real. She's got a beautiful smile, and I think her smile is all positive with a nice sense of a nice aura. Now, Madam Nadesh, how are you today?
Yeah. I'm doing great. I'm fine.
All right. Now, before we jump deep into the topic,
No wahala for now.
I will pray there should not be any wahala. We don't like wahala.
I never.
We like good and happy things and good news and you know. Now, Grandma Dash, I want to find out from you. The first thing, like before jumping into this topic, you know,
Okay.
today we decided to talk about preparing the boy and the girl
Thank you.
child for marriage. Most of the time, when we are talking about this marriage or union between a man and a woman, or boy and a girl, or whatever of the two gender, is usually you see one end the men, the women are like men has come, men has come, men has come, and the other hand we have the men saying who the one get married to the woman for the generation. None of them they do so. They do so. So you see that you have two expectant ends that don't meet up. But before going into this topic, I want to find out how can we define marriage? What is marriage to your according to you?
Okay. Marriage is a sort of union. In our context, it's a union. It's an official, a socially accepted union between two people, and generally, we have a man and a woman. Yes. So
Yeah.
marriage is like an official recognition
Mm-hmm.
between two people who have decided to live together, to share things together, and then in fact, to live their life together. So that's what marriage is basically. So it's something legal, it's something social, and it's something which is recognized by the state. There
Mm-hmm.
are many forms of marriage. There are some people who stay together for too long and they say they are married. No, we talk of
Yeah.
marriage when it is legal. When it is
Yeah.
legal, we know that we have civil marriage, we have traditional marriage, we have religious marriage. But in our context, what is taken into account is the civil marriage, where it is officially signed that two people have decided to be together. So that's
Yeah.
what marriage is for me.
Wow. All right. Two people coming together. Now I want to find out something. What's the base? What's the foundation of marriage? What's the base?
In fact, when we talk about marriage, people nowadays, people
Mm-hmm.
think about sex, love. Marriage is a whole thing. It's something very broad.
Yeah.
It starts with the physical appearance. Now it
Wow, physical
continues with
appearance.
connection. Yes, yes, of
Wow.
course. We generally look at someone at the first time, at the first sight, and then we appreciate what we have in front of us. Now it is in the course of appreciating, of going together, learning to know each other, that we decide whether we have to get married to the person or not. But marriage, as everything in life, it starts with the external appearance. When I see somebody, for example, I'm interested with the person, I like this on that person, I like that. But the fact that we live together, the fact that we work together for a certain moment, it helps us to
Yeah.
discover more than, or to go beyond that physical appearance and see what is behind. So marriage is like is an association of external and internal characteristics. When we talk about
Yes.
external, there are some people who love, who have their criteria. People who like maybe boys or girls who are fair, who are this, who are that. Now, if you stop at that, I'm not sure that your marriage will work. It won't work because everything that is superficial, everything that is physical, it does not last. Imagine that you have an accident and that you have a problem with your physical appearance. Will it mean that your marriage will not continue? So
Mm,
beyond that physical aspect, we have
yeah.
what is internal. Now, when we talk about marriage, when two people decide to go together, when two people decide to marry, to unite, it means that you have a number, there is a number of things that you have to put in place. For example, you need to develop tolerance when you decide to live with someone who is not your brother, because even in your with your brother at home, you have problems. So imagine somebody who comes from outside, who has a different background, a different education, everything different, and you live with the person. There are a number of
Yeah.
values that you have to put into place in order to work together. So when you think about marriage, think about openness, acceptance, tolerance, humility. In fact, all those positive values that help human beings to live together, you need to develop them. And those are some of the values we have to teach to our students, and I mean to our children. I'm so used to students that I talk about students everywhere. In
Yeah.
fact, those are the values we have to develop in our children at home when preparing
Yeah.
them to be adults tomorrow. Not necessarily preparing them for marriage, but preparing them to be adults who fit in our social environment. Because a
Wow.
child who has positive values will easily fit in the society, even if he or she is not married, because we need to understand that it's not everybody who is meant for marriage. Marriage
Okay.
is not
Thank
meant for everybody. Yes.
you. Now I want to find out something. You
Mhm.
just said something which was one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Before
Mhm.
coming to that question, I want to find out something from you, madam. Is marriage an achievement?
Sorry,
Is
is
marriage an
marriage?
achievement? An achievement.
Ah, that's what the society wants us to know, that marriage is an achievement. When I'm married, I'm already no, 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 a big no. Marriage is not an achievement.
All
Marriage
right. Why
is a
you say so?
step. It's a step. It's not an achievement at all.
So why do we congratulate people each time when they are getting married?
We congratulate them because they had that courage to to overcome that step, because it's a difficult step. Can you
Oh,
imagine living with, in fact, uniting your life with someone you don't know, and you
Mm-hmm.
decide to live with the person to the end of your life, is it
Mm-hmm.
not courageous enough?
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge, and it is an unknown challenge. You are not sure that you'll be able to, but at least you decide to go to overcome it. So we congratulate that courage the two people decided to put together in order to work together. That's why even when you pass,
Mm-hmm.
when you do something positive, people congratulate you. It's something normal. It's something
Yeah.
normal. So
Now,
they congratulate you because you've done something positive.
so if I understand very well, it is a risky step.
Not the term risky is a little bit big, but it is an unknown step. It's an unknown. It's like you just open a big hole and you decide just to go inside without holding anything. You see, you don't know whether there is something down there to hold you, or you just crash on the spot. In fact, it is something really unknown. It's when you are inside that you really know what marriage is. Everything people talk about outside is not marriage,
All
because
right.
marriage is a personal experience.
All right. I see some beautiful people, and we have Wakanda present. Now, Madam Nadesh, I want to still find out something from you. Still in the same line, each time when we talk about preparation for marriage, most attention is focused on the girl child. Most like the women are the women need to the woman and the woman and woman and woman and woman. Now, do you think the boy child needs to be prepared for marriage as well? Do you think there's some sort of preparation for a boy child, or is the woman that is supposed to do most of the work?
You know, I don't know why I've been choosing to be here, because it's something that's always it's something that each time I think about it, I just say no, but it's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we talk about union, when we talk about marriage, we talk about two. So
Mm-hmm.
how can we talk about two and we lay emphasis only on one? It's
Uh,
like in fact, we are living in a society with a lot of stereotypes. We
yeah.
started something started in the far in the past, and we are just reproducing that same thing without asking ourselves good questions.
Yeah.
We are talking about marriage, but we spend time training one person to marriage, and the other one, you see, the society is putting so much pressure on the woman that at a certain point, men or young boys think that marriage is to please girls, is to please women. They have more to gain if they are married. Whereas when we talk about marriage, we talk about the two. So somebody is getting involved in something that he doesn't know anything about. So you see, it makes the situation very complex. And I think that it is one of the reasons why our society nowadays is facing a marriage crisis. If you
Mm-hmm.
observe well, many people get married nowadays. They tend to break up the engagement,
Two
because
years
when
if
you
it's
enter
small.
a marriage,
I know about 15 if it's small. Two years, 2 years, break up, 2 years. You can write down. Sorry for intruding.
you see, it is
Yeah.
because the society shows that women are more oriented towards marriage, and even our education. For
Mm-hmm.
example, in our houses, when a young girl will be doing something which is not well done, the parent will ask her, so is it the way you go and do in your husband's house? But they
Yes,
will
very
never
common.
tell the boy that is it the way you treat your wife. They will never say it. So young boys grow up knowing that marriage is for women. It is to please the lady. So it is as if their responsibility is not fair in the marriage. And that is why you see nowadays, in many marriages, is the woman who carries almost all the burden of the marriage. Men
Mm-hmm.
are like they are free, you see. So it is, marriage is like a, how can I say it? Say it, it's like just to go and sign for them, young boys. It is just to go and sign, and then once they sign, they are okay. And they will tell their wife that, Madam, you are already a married woman. I think it's okay for you. You see, now he
Mm-hmm.
thinks that he's married, but he lives a normal life outside with women left and right. And he finds it normal that he has a wife at home who takes care of the children, of the house, of everything, and he has his personal life with his friend outside, with everything outside. And when you are a woman, at the beginning, she will just allow it like that because that is the way she has been brought up. That is the way the parents educated
Raise a
her.
child.
But at a certain moment, yes, but at a certain moment, when she realized that she is exploited, you see, exploited in the sense that everything is done to please the man, and her own pleasure is not taken into account, she'll start
Mm-hmm.
being a rebel. And they will say she is not submissive, she is not this, she is not that. It's because the treatment within marriage is not fair. When we decide to get
Now,
married, there
I,
are
wa- I,
certain
wa-
values we have to develop.
all right. That was really beautiful. Sorry for coming in. I just want us to add because the conversation is getting really interesting, and there are, like we said before, there are panelists that will be joining us, and we're getting different points of views to make this conversation really flexible, so anybody can fit in and find your place in the conversation. Now, like you all already know, we have another gentleman backstage, somebody that you all already know and you all love so much. I'm surprised that people have not commented his name there today. Whenever Son of Light is not there, I see bring Son of Light, bring Son of Light. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Son of Light. Let's bring Son of Light into the stage. Hi, Son of Light, how you doing?
Hello, 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 hello.
Hi, Son of Light, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
Good evening.
I can hear you 5 on 5.
Thank you
Can
so
you?
much. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. Now this is wonderful. Before you came in, we were conversing. We were having this conversation with Madam Nadesh Ola, Mrs. Nadesh Ola, and we were establishing some key facts as far as marriage is concerned. Now, son of that, I want to find out something from you. Do you think the boy child needs training before getting into marriage? Do you think the boy child needs some preparation before getting into marriage? Oh, son of light. Okay, looks like he's not there. Son of light, are you there?
To me.
All right, I can get you now.
Hello?
Yeah, it's okay. I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay. Uh, First and foremost, I want to say I'm sorry for being late, as it is. So, based
Apology
on your
accepted.
question, based on your question,
Yeah.
let us start by saying anybody who is not well armed cannot
Yeah.
fight a particular war.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Now, the next question that we need to ask is, which kind of war are they fighting, and what are the kind of ammunitions that they need in the fighting of this war?
Okay.
In
Awesome.
our in our in our topic under consideration, we are talking about the male child.
Yes.
We are talking about him getting into a particular institution.
Yes.
The the male child needs some particular ammunitions to get into this war. And when I say it is a war, I don't want you people to consider it according to the literal definition of a war. It is
Mm-hmm.
just a kind of way of me putting it that a male child needs a certain kind of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how are they being prepared?
Yeah.
Because preparation of a male child will vary from a particular people to another particular people.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to introduce me into what I call truth is culturally specific.
Mm-hmm.
The way a people will prepare a male child in the Northwest region into marriage will differ to the way they will prepare a male child in Southwest to get into the same marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Context, because we are not just talking from space. We are standing somewhere before we are talking. Because for you to shoot, you must have a target. And for you to have a target, you must have a base.
Yeah.
Are you getting me, please?
I can get you 5 on 5.
Okay. So now we find ourselves in a situation where nowadays we see men get into marriages and 1 year they are already scattered. They are not mentally prepared. They are not spiritually prepared. They are not physically prepared. Now, in order for me to throw more light into this particular thing I'm talking about, I might be cutting across several disciplines.
Yeah. Oh, Son of Light seems to have
Hello,
a
can you hear me?
We can hear you now. You said you might be cutting across many disciplines. That was the last
Hello.
one. Hi, Son of Light. We can hear
Yes,
you.
because I am talking and I am driving.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I am talking and I am driving, so the network is somehow, yes.
All right,
so what is happening is I will be talking and I will be getting across several disciplines. Now, in the African context, because we are not talking generally. If we talk generally, we are going to be talking out of topic. We have to talk based on a certain scope. So in the African scope, the African child is being prepared, or the African male child is being prepared for marriage. How are they prepared for marriage? So that when they get into marriage, their marriage will not turn into a turmoil. Now, let us look at what was happening in the past, and let us look at what is happening now. The question I will ask is, the marriages that are occurring now and the marriages that have been happening in the past, which ones have been, or which ones have registered so much of a success? You will come to discover that the marriages in the past have registered so much successes than the marriages we have now. Why? What happened? Somebody had the right concept of marriage and knew how to manage the institution of marriage. Okay, a while ago I said in the past our parents had good marriages and now we don't have good marriages. Now the next question is, in the past, at what age were our parents getting married? We had a situation in the past where a man is already 22 years and he is already married. I am talking out of experience. My father got married to my mom and gave birth to me when he was 22. So which means if you add my age to my father's age of 22, automatically you determine how old my father is now. Now, what gave my father the guts to get married in those days when they were just 22? They had a certain preparation, spiritually, physically, mentally, before getting into the marriage. But nowadays, a man is 28 years. He is still not married. He is 30 years. He is still not married. What is happening? What happened? And somebody will tell you that I want married quick so. I don't know. Can I proceed?
Right on, Son of Light.
Madam Nadesh Ola, Can I proceed?
Sorry?
Can I proceed, please? Are you following up?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the
Yes, I'm
past,
following up.
our parents got married at the ages of 22. How comes they could get married at the age of 22 when now we are 28, 29, we are still not married? What was happening? Because Madam Ola Nadesh said something that it looks like the man will just go about doing anything. No, the man will not go about doing anything. They gave you a certain picture that the man will go about doing anything. That is not how it was. That which was in the past was the one that was pure. Now, let me explain. A male child that cannot feed himself, what should cause you to venture into marriage in the first place? That's the first question. So in the past, our ancestors, they started preparing the male child by first and foremost arming the male child by making sure that the male child can first and foremost provide for himself. So there were certain skills that a male child needed in order to navigate the institution of marriage. Meanwhile, the male child was being prepared to be able to provide for his family. The female child was also being prepared to be able to comfort her man and to be able to respect her man. Okay. Now, let us go a little bit in the context of the English culture. Let us take, for example, Christianity. You will understand that Christianity, when you follow Christianity, you will discover that before Eve could come, according to the story, Adam did not just come empty-handed. There was a garden. There were resources. There was something to eat. So, which means the person that came across with that particular story understood, and he was informing those who are going to be reading that a man cannot be able to be stable in a marriage if he does not have the resources, which means you need to be fully prepared, resourcefully, for you to be able to engage into the institution of marriage. Are you following up?
5 on 5, 5 on 5.
Okay. Now, after you must have gotten.
Network is disturbing.
Oh,
after you must have gotten the. Hello.
Yeah, I can get it 5 on 5. I was just telling Madame Nadesh she's welcome back. I noticed her network was tripping.
Okay, let me remove this location. Okay. So
no,
now,
your own is very good. You can write on Son of Light. Your network is good. We can hear you.
Okay. After you find a situation nowadays that a man cannot provide for himself. He can barely feed, but he gets into the process of getting married. The question is, how do you expect to support this particular marriage? Because you and I know that a man cannot survive without food. So you are unable to provide for yourself. Are you going to be able to provide for this woman, talk less of children? So in the past, we found ourselves in a situation where every man was a producer. Every man was a provider. So they never bothered to think about what they are going to eat because everybody was producing. So a woman is coming, she is fully prepared, knowing that the man I am going to meet has been fully armed. There is enough to eat, so we can start making children. We don't have to think.
Yeah, Son of Light. In line with what you're saying, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
I understand what you're saying very well. There is one belief of the Lord will provide. And there's another belief of he that find a wife, find a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. There are some people who claim that the moment they saw their wife and got married to her, the Lord opened doors that actually gave them breakthrough, and they started seeing blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings. So they encourage anybody that wants to get married to actually take the bold step that God is going to see them through. I'm sure this should account for the reason why some men will not work, some, and still look for a woman to punish in the house.
Okay, let me quickly jump there. You know, there is something I would say. We have natural calibration and we have artificial calibration.
Yeah.
And what happens is anybody that is basing his existence on myth and artificial calibration, when reality, the person will not be able to support it. When a man gets up in the morning and he says God is going to provide, I have never seen God providing. I have seen men. I have seen men that take life into their hands and they provide. So any man that comes to tell you that God is going to provide, this man is just sending you to your early grave. As a matter of fact, this man wants to rob you of your natural intelligence. Because you and I know that when the man down there is hungry, when the stomach is in need of food, I will tell you the truth, you cannot give anything but food. The only thing you need in this life is to survive is food. Let me tell you something, you can survive without me. I can survive without you, but when there is no food. So any man that comes to tell you that the Lord is going to provide, tell the person, since the Lord is going to provide, please, I want to take your phone. I want to lock you inside your house. I want to take the key. And I want you to stay in that house for 10 days. Let the Lord provide. Let us see. If we are going to be talking about things that are important, let us speak the truth.
Yeah. Sort of like in this line. Now, this one thing. When they say the Lord will provide, is usually from the context of the Bible. For Christians, I know there are Muslim Christians and different belief systems watching. Now, for the Christians, it's on the context of the Bible, and in that line it says,
say something.
All right, okay, you can write on. Yeah, Mrs. Nadesh, you can write on. You can come in. Oh, it looks like her network is quite faulty. Mrs. Nadesh, are you there? Can you hear me?
The network is disturbing. I'm not getting you well.
All right. If it's disturbing, maybe you can turn off your camera and connect audio. Maybe we can hear you from audio, like Son of Light.
Hello.
Oh, that's okay. She's going to join back. Now, it's usually from that standpoint, not like they will stay and wait for God to come and provide. Like acting by faith. I'm saying this because I've heard this a lot. And I've heard a lot of people like, no, you need to act by faith. It's not doing this because you're not having faith. And at a certain point in my life, when I was much more younger, I nearly fell into this trap. Thank God I had a pastor who is a very conscious person who does not really accept any kind of nonsense belief. You see? They'll be like, no, you need to walk with faith. When you take the step, God is going to back you up because what you're doing, God is helping you so that you are not committing adultery. Is adultery now? You're not committing fornication and and it's usually like that. And you see a lot of people finding themselves in this category when they cannot even provide for themselves, they cannot eat properly, they cannot even take care of their own basic needs. If they fall sick today, the whole neighborhood get to contribute. But you see a pastor saying, no, you're already mature to get married, or if somebody encouraging you, they're already mature to get married, so they should do the right thing instead of taking ladies and sleeping with. They should instead go and get married too, and they make them married anyhow, and things are working. So I think it's more in that line. You get so all of that boils down to the preparation phase of marriage, How can you determine if somebody is prepared for marriage? Now, before we get there, I want to say welcome to Life Spell. Life Spell, you're very much welcome. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you, Mr. Wickham. Hope
All
you
right.
can get me.
Yeah, I can get you
Okay.
5 5. Now, over to you, Son of Light. Wow, glad to have you on board. Now, Son of Light, at what stage can you consider that a man is prepared to get married? At what stage? What is that thing that quantifies the preparation of a man? Maybe Son of Light is he was driving, so maybe he's actually Son of Light. Are you there? Yeah. If we can hear
I
him,
can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear. Yeah, I can hear
okay.
you.
All right. Okay. Now this is what I'm asking. At what stage do we qualify a man as ready for marriage? Is it by age? Is
That
it by
is
achievement? Is it by what exactly?
at what stage do we qualify a man as married? What I'm going to tell you now
Ready for
is
marriage.
ready for marriage.
Yes.
One, you need to be resource. You need to have what it takes to provide. I just explained a while ago that you cannot find yourself in a situation where you are unable to provide, and then you are getting into responsibilities that you know these responsibilities are going to crumble you. This thing, there is a problem from the foundation. When the house has a problem from the foundation, everything is going to get spoiled. If you are 20 and you have the resources, you get into this particular stuff, because at the end of the day, most people think that you're just going to get there, God is going to provide. Except you are
Yes.
sending a man to go and beg. We know that reality is above whatsoever thing. If you don't have the resources, first, do you have what it takes physically? Do you have what it takes mentally? Do you have what it takes spiritually? Now, physically has to do with the physical strength, provision. You need food to eat. The spiritual part of it has to do with the belief you have about the marriage. What is the reason? Why are you getting into this particular thing? Who are those training you? That's why a while ago I was saying that the training of the male child according to those in the northwest and the training of the male child according to those in the southwest differ. Where I am coming from, we have institutions that were in charge of training the male child before getting into marriage. What was the training? They make sure that they harness the skills that this particular male child has. Because a man will strive through life if you have basic skills of survival. But somebody came and he spoiled this particular foundation. That is why when the foundation got spoiled, everything is in turmoil.
Now,
We
Son
are
of
not-
Light, can you
Yes.
tell us how it was spoiled so that we can be able to identify the problem and relate it to today?
Okay. When the strangers came into the land, they came in with an alien culture. Now we understand that every species has a way of survival. There is no matter how you make it, every species has its own way of survival. Let us look at other organisms in the animal kingdom. I will take this analogy. When you look at the elephant, the elephant takes about 18 months to give birth to a particular or another elephant. When you come to other species in the animal kingdom, for example, a rat will give birth to close to about 6, 7 within a very short while. And you ask, what is the reason for all this? It's because nature understands that this particular elephant has immunity to survive. One elephant is capable of surviving, but you see the rat is not going to be easy for him to survive, because there are cats that will want to feed on this particular rats. Now you might not understand from which direction I'm coming from. What I want to tell you is, a people came and they said, "Oh, Mr. Rat, as from today, you are not going to survive in this particular pattern. I need to truncate you. I need to look for a way for you not to be able to give birth to 6 or 7 children at a particular time. Mr. Rat now found himself in such a way that he cannot be able to produce 5, 6, 7 children at a particular time. So you see that we are going to have a shortage of rats in the system. Now, if I bring it to what is happening with humans, a man came, he told you that you are not supposed to be a producer, you are going to be a consumer. How did they do it? They took your interest from things that matter in life and redirected it to things that don't matter. When they came and they introduced, for example, they introduced money. They introduced all these offices and whatsoever. Everybody now said, oh, I no longer want to stay in the village. I no longer want to go to the farm. I no longer want to produce. I used to be a farmer. I don't want to do all those things. Now I want to work for salary. Now they were turning your mind from the original skills that you had that can cause you to pass through and survive on life, for you to start pursuing a man that is going to be feeding you. Now, in this particular, there is one of them there that you are acting like a conscious slave. And in the other part, you are acting as a master. And when you act as a master, you have that capacity to be able to take decisions of marriage at a very tender age. But now you are acting as a slave. They are giving you what you need to survive at that particular moment, of which you know that this is what I need to survive for now. I cannot bring other responsibilities. But for you to get into marriage, you need to be a master, which means you have to be in control. The question is, are you in control of the immediate resource that who hold this marriage? Because some people think that love is what is going to sustain marriage.
Yeah,
love alone will not sustain the marriage.
I was about to come to that. Yeah.
Yes, some people think that love alone will sustain marriage. The question is, yes.
Son of Light. Now,
yes.
To your perspective, I want you to just help us so that we can have a good, clearer view for a male child, before a male child, because we have come to the understanding that a lot of us, our parents gave birth to us when they were quite young, and some of us are already old yet and still very single. If we come to understand very well, it's because of a change in the system. So the big question I really want to understand is, at what stage, what is actually that point where the people watching us right now, I'm sure there are young men amongst, and there are even older single men. What is that stage that you know that you're ready as a man, that you're ready to get married? Is it when you have money to take care of yourself? Is it when you have a particular standard? Is it when you begin to?
Okay, let me make it easier for them to digest. Question number 1.
Yes.
Can you provide for the person you are going to marry? Do you have the resources? That's the first question. When God brought Adam to the garden, God did not bring Adam on an empty land. God prepared food. He prepared resources. He prepared everything. Then he created man. Then when man came, he said, it is not good for man to be alone. Let me bring a woman. Why do you think that God had to follow this order? Why do you think God would have said, man, let me create man. Let me create woman. Then I create now what they are going to eat. It's because God understood that a man will survive only on food. So a man will come and meet food first. So you watching me, do you have food to eat? I mean food. Do you have what it takes? Resources to take care of yourself and then take care of that girl. Because it always starts from there. A hungry man is an angry man.
Very angry man.
The next thing is spiritually. How do you see the institution of marriage? What is the reason of getting to marriage? How do you interpret marriage? Emotionally, how do you see this particular emotion? How do you see this institution of marriage?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the test you need to guide yourself before you venture into it. Anybody who comes to come and tell you that God is going to provide, somebody tells you that is the grace of God. When somebody tells you that is the grace of God, ask the person what is the person doing, because the grace of God does not act on empty space. God does not just give people; He blesses the works of their hands. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, what are you doing before you are calling the grace of God? You need to see the grace of God. You find out many of those people say that, oh, I got married to my wife and open doors came. The open doors came because you guys were doing something. You did not sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing something. This
Mm-hmm.
woman met you and your strength was now stronger and people were doing something. So
Yeah.
you take into consideration what is the physical test? Do you have what it takes for her to survive? Physically,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, what is the institution? What's your reason of getting into this particular marriage? And then
Yeah.
emotionally, are you emotionally sound to get into this? And it will suffice you that we have institutions that take care of these particular realities. Today that we are living on myth. Today that when we live on myth and then you lure the girl into marriage and then when reality strikes her, she turns a tyrant. And you that
Animal. Why animal?
thank you.
Son of man, you can write down. Sorry for them. Sorry for intruding.
Yes. So when she turns a tyrant, I tell people when she becomes a tyrant, you start saying that that is how all women are, or you start saying that that's how all men are. No. How did you get? How prepared were you before getting into it? What are your tests? If you ask me, for example, you are coming into marriage. Somebody will tell you that. Somebody will ask you that. What can you offer on the table?
Mm-hmm.
What can you offer on the table? This is usually the question they ask. What can you present? The question is you who is initiating the marriage. You are initiating this marriage on what grounds? And I will say something. The way in which we get married also depends. From what standing point are you getting married? From what perspective? Are you getting married according to the English perspective or you are getting married according to the African perspective? Because when you get married according to the English perspective, you are
It's
getting married necessarily based on love and relationship. That's why if you get deeper into the English culture, they don't consider bride price. They don't
mm-hmm.
consider bride price. Bride price is they don't consider it. Yes, they just consider okay for love and relationship. Now the next question is go and sample their divorce rates. When you come across the Indians, the Arabs, the Africans, they value this bride price because they look at marriage to be a very solid institution. That's why an African man that accepts the concept of 50-50 into his marriage, you are digging your own early grave. But the concept
Okay.
of 50-50 is so common in the English culture. Why? Because
Now,
there are certain things that our economy has prepared. The African economy, how is it vis-a-vis this particular institution of marriage? So
yeah.
there are so many involved in all these things, and some people will come and they will base on faith. But I'm
God will
sorry,
provide.
faith alone does not move mountains. With works, that is what moves mountains. I'll
All
stop
right.
there for now.
Now, son of light, before you flow, I know Madam Mrs. Nadeshola had something to say, and then we'll come to live spell. Before you go, you made mention of something that the man must have what you're going to eat, something to sustain. Now, look at the case of a struggling young man that meets a lady that is already working, and the lady is like, don't bother, me, I'm working, and we can live on my salary.
Okay, again, spiritually, African, spiritually Africans, you getting married to a woman who already has, and the woman says, we are going to live on my salary. How sustainable is that going to be?
Mm-hmm.
For how long are you people going to be in this particular situation? For how long? Because one of those things that determine character is time. As time
Mm-hmm.
is going on, the true nature and character of a particular species is being revealed. It's been revealed over time. We
Mm-hmm.
are not living in an era where we just base on words. We should live in an era where we back our words with action. For how long? In the African context, it is not a woman that provides. A woman multiplies. It is a man's responsibility to provide. So it
Mhm.
depends on you are a spiritual person. How do you see this thing? Is it normal to your own eyes? To me, if I meet a woman that says, no, no problem, uh, I am going to be the one to provide. I think
Mhm.
I will tell you, I will tell you something. If truly you are going to respect me to be the man that's going to provide, I want to be in control of that money. Let me be the one to provide. Then let us see whether she means what she's trying to say.
All right. What if she does, and what if she does not? That should be something that is to be discovered by the people. Thank you so much, Son of Light, Madam Mrs. Nader. She wanted to react when Son of Light was saying, even though your network couldn't permit. Please, can you give us the light which you wanted to throw on some of key aspects that we need
Yes,
to know and we need to come to the understanding?
yes. I think I listened to what he said, and there are a number of good things he said. But here, I think we have to lay emphasis on education. We are talking
Mhm.
about preparing children for marriage. Our parents have been spending time preparing the young girl for marriage. I think here we have to lay a lot of emphasis on preparing the young boy to marriage. And that preparation starts at the base. It is something that is going to be consistent. It's something that is going to move on slowly till the age the guy has to get married. So we as young parents, because we are living in a society where things have changed as compared to what Son of Life was talking about. He was talking about the past. The past things were quite better, but now our society is in all the domains, and also in the domain of marriage. So we have to rethink our education, rethink how we educate our children, be it the young girl or the young boy. We need to understand that the way we train our young girls, that is how we also have to train our young boys. We need to let our young boys understand that one, they must respect women. And it starts with respecting their sisters at home, respecting their mother, respecting all the women around them. Secondly, we need to let them understand that since we are talking about gender, it means that the society gives role to boys.
Her network is very, very interesting. I think when she comes back, we are actually going to highlight. Now, let's take a few comments. Hi, Telma, you're very much welcome. I want to say welcome to everybody that's joining us. You're very much welcome. Like, you know, it is your favorite conversation, and it's very, very beautiful here. We are having very interesting points, which I know a lot of you are enjoying. So, I want to just highlight us a few comments that came in while we were having the conversation so that we don't get to miss out. We have this is coming from Carson Desire. Preparing the child for marriage involves teaching them essential life skills, values, responsibilities. We have emotional intelligence, communication, responsibility, respect, independence, time management, self care, adaptability as some common value skills, both boys and girls. Every child is unique, and preparation for marriage should be tailored to their individual needs, values, and cultural background. I end here. All right. Thank you so much, Carson the designer.
I'm
We're going
back.
to take another comment. This one says,
I'm
boss.
back.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. You're very much welcome, Madam Ola. Mrs. Ola, you could
I'm
continue,
so
please.
sorry. I'm so sorry for that disturbance. So
No,
I was
we
saying that
understand. We
what
understand the reality on ground. You can write down this.
okay, so
Apology
I
accepted.
want to lay I just want to bring out some points. As we parents, we young parents, we are
Mhm.
living in a society and we have observed a number of situations which are not very good for us. So we have to change at our level. So those who have children at home, children, the boy child or the girl child, we have to teach them how to go in for for marriage. For boys, for example, it is very necessary to let them understand that when you decide to take a person's child, It means that as your gender requires, you have to take care of that person. You have to protect that person. And it is not your property. Okay. You are the master in quotes, but you are not the god. It means that you have to treat that person like a normal human being. So the values we have to develop in those children, we have to make them understand that when you live with a person who is, when you live with a person, I don't know whether you can hear me.
We
Can you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
I can hear you so well. I can hear you so well.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you so well.
Okay. So we have, thank you, to boys the sense of responsibility. It's very important. When you decide to take a wife, it means that there are a number of things you have to do. Now, when it comes to young girls, it is very important to develop the sense of, let them develop self-confidence. We have to teach them to be sure of their capacity. Let them understand that they are not only meant for marriage, and let them also understand that every woman is not meant to get married, because there are some women not only women, there are some people who are not supposed to get married. And now,
I
because
think
of
I'll react.
the
We call.
pressure
I'll
from the
come to this point. Take note.
society,
These
the
are point
pressure
of
from
not
the
everybody
family,
want to get married.
you
Yeah, I got the point he was trying to say. You can write down Mrs. Nadesh. I understood what he was trying to say. I'm
okay,
just trying to highlight, yeah.
okay. Mhm. So
Yeah, you
we
can write
need to
down.
let them understand that we need to let them understand that a woman also is very necessary for a young girl to further her education. Even if she's married, let our young boys, let our husband understand that when you take a person's child in your house, it does not mean that everything is finished for her. She's only good for children. No, let those people, because I think it is also written in the Bible that God created men and women to be happy. So if you take a person's child and you get married to that person, you need to let the opportunity to that person to assert herself. So a young girl who gets married, it is good for the young boy to understand that the two of them are together in order to be happy. So one should not stop the other one from being happy. For that, it is only through education. Let us rethink our education. Let a young girl understand that career development also is very important for a young boy, a young girl. It's not only that my husband is this, my husband is that, so I am. No, let all of us work, because marriage is union and everybody's bring in something. So if you are just a wife of, so it means that you are giving, you are carrying your burden and you are putting it on that man's shoulder. Let the man also understand that if I have a wife, she is there to complete me. The two of them are complementary, and since the two of them are complementary, they have to work together in order to produce something that will make up their marriage. So living together has to, we have to base our marriage on a certain number of values, and in those values we have humility. When you live with someone, you have to develop humility automatically. We have
Okay.
tolerance, we have acceptance. And you know that more and more in our context, we have intercultural marriages. When we talk about intercultural marriages, we talk about differences. We talk about great differences. Like I, for example, I am Bamileke, but my husband is from the Central region. You see, for us to be together, we had to sacrifice a lot. We had to adapt. We had to adapt to the other person's culture. Those are the little things we have to teach. We have to teach our young girls and young boys. We have to
All
let
right.
them understand that the other one is different from me. And since that person is different from me, I have to accept what is acceptable, and then if there is something which is not acceptable, we have to look for a compromise. It's very important. Those values, let us teach values to our children so
All
that they
right.
will be fit in our society tomorrow.
Wisdom, I would
Let
like to
them
ask
be
a
fit.
question.
Yes.
Okay, ask your question. I also have a question. You should okay, let me just shoot this one because it's like what she's saying. Um, listen to you, Mrs. Nadesh. I understand that from your perspective, the way you speak it out, I want to find out something for you without me assuming or anybody watching assuming. You talked of trading the boy child and the girl child. You talked of having self the two of them protecting their interests. I want to find out something for you. From you, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to a home, is there an equality between the male child and the girl child? Should they be trained as equals, or how should it be done? Please.
Yes, the two of them have to be trained, you see. But the issue is that we should not we should understand the fact that we can never be equal. Let us develop equity, but equality is not it is not possible, because I'll never be equal to you. When we say equal, it means what? One equals to one. You and I, we can never be equal. Never. My husband and I will never be equal. But I want us to develop equity. Meaning what? Let us have the necessary tool to develop ourselves in our fully to develop ourselves fully. You see, let's develop equity. Meaning that I, as a woman, what do I have to bring in? What do I need to be to fully express myself? You, as a man, what do you need to fully express yourself? That is what we need. Talking about equality, I personally am not equal. I am not for equality, because there is no equality to one equality between humans, be it between two girls or two. My sister and I, we are not equal. So you and I, we are not. We cannot be equal because we don't have the
All right.
the same potential, the same. In fact, we are different.
I want to put the question well so that we don't talk of the difference in our gender, sex, and all of that. In a home, is there a superior person? Is another person
No,
is one person superior to another, or the two of them
no,
have equal? Okay, all right. Okay,
no.
that's what I was
The two
trying to
of them must
understand.
have equal treatment. Meaning what?
And equal rights.
If I am cooking,
No, 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 no.
if
Wake up. Let me ask the question again for her to understand. Madam Nadesh, the question is
yes,
straightforward. In a marriage, is there somebody the head and somebody is supposed to be answerable to somebody? Like in the marriage institution, like the Bible says, the man is the head and the woman is under a man. What Mr. Wincom is asking you is, are they equal, or they are somebody must be the head and the other person is
yes,
under the head,
Or there are two
yes.
heads.
or they are two heads?
Battery is low. Please recharge
No,
in
no, 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 no. See, we are living in a society, and marriage is an institution. That institution has its laws, okay? And the laws of the marriage says that the man is the head of the family. Definitely, I agree with that. The man is the head of the the family. Now, the woman is not the slave man. That is what I want us to understand. The woman is not the slave. She is there to complete that man. Because what in the Bible, it is said that the woman comes from her husband, meaning that without that woman, the man is incomplete. Okay, so it is that woman that completes the man to make him the man he is or he wants to be. You see, so in a marriage, there must be a head. There must be. Now, how is that head treating the partner? That is the problem we are living in our society. let everything is there is a hierarchy in a marriage where we have the man, we have his wife, and we have the children. And the man is like the protector of the family. That is the role. That is the role that is given to the man. Now, within that family, within that marriage, the two of them has to be together in order to work, in order to make that marriage work. It is not because the man is the head that he is the one to do everything. No, that the wife is there to complete, and since she's there to complete, the two of them has to put themselves together in order to make it work. The man alone cannot make a marriage to work. The woman alone cannot make a marriage to work. If they are
All right. This
means that
let me
the
let me
two
let
of
me
them
let me
have
Mr.
to be
Wincom, I
together
have
in
another
order to
question
make
for
it
her.
work.
I have a question
So
for her before you
as
come in.
I think she
your
should learn.
portion,
I
I
think she should
say
learn.
no. Everybody has to take its place because we have our places in the marriage. Everybody has to take it or her place.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mrs. Nadesh. Now, Son of Light, you can fire on with the question because I equally have more questions, and then we're going
Okay,
to hear from
Mrs.
Light.
Nadesh, you made a very you made a statement
Yes,
a statement there that I did not understand. You made mention that it's not everybody that has to get married. Can you tell me where you got that from
yes.
and why everybody must not get married?
See, in life, if you look at how life is, it's not everybody who's supposed to get married. I was in church last week, and we were it was the message there was on marriage. They was talking about marriage, and the priest said something that I understood it that way. Okay, there are marriage is an institution, and it is not everybody who is meant for
Madam
that
Nadesh,
institution.
let me guide you again.
Yes,
Let me add something so that you can just explain all. What you are making me to understand is everybody must not get married. There are some people that have to get married, some will not get married, but there are some people that must sleep with a man or a woman, which means they have to sin. They are going to commit either adultery or fornication because you said not everybody must get married. And you also said, since
see,
everybody must not get married,
I want.
I'm coming. Let me say certain things so that you can understand. So since everybody must not get married, there are some particular people that must not sleep with a man and they must not sleep with a woman because if they do that, it's either they're committing fornication or they are committing adultery. Then, if you say everybody must not get married, I want you to explain to me and then learn, and then you also explain to me, do you understand the reason why in Africa and in Bamileke land where you are, there is the presence of polygamy? Do you understand what it is? So, right on, explain.
All right, Madam Nadesh, I hope you got the question, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that are watching
Okay,
that have a similar question,
let me
that have
start
a
with.
similar doubt. All right, you can write on, please. Yeah, Madam, Mrs. Nadesh, can you hear me? If you can hear me, then I think you can write on so we can get to hear from Son of Light as from Live Spell as well. Mrs. Nadesh. Okay, it looks like her network. Her
I
network.
think there is a little problem of network, but I'll
All right.
try. In
All
fact,
right.
what was I saying? You see,
Yeah.
I was saying so because at times pressure, pressure from the society make
Yeah.
people to get married, whereas the person they are getting married to was not meant for them. They were not even supposed to get married, you see. But because of that pressure from the society, from the family, there are some people who die without getting married, but they are happy. What is the essence of being on earth? We are there to be happy.
So these people
God
that died,
created us to be
these people
happy.
that died, Madam Nadesh, these people that died without getting married, which
Yes.
means these people committed the sin of fornication or the sin of adultery. Is that what you are saying?
See, even if they committed those crimes, okay, there is what we call confession. If they confess, what will
Oh, okay,
happen?
okay. I understand. I don't understand.
Hmm?
All right, Mrs. Nadash, I want to
Okay.
find, this is one point which I want us to look at. If we go to some dates back to when our fathers were, our forefathers were, we had little or we had very minimal rate of celibacy. And the case of the celibacy which you will see should be that of a woman who was actually married and she had a misconduct and she was sent out. Now, in most of those cases, you look at it as they had the solution, they had this schema, they had what they knew as a solution for people to actually get married and the entire society. What was that solution? That was polygamy. Because a lot of them actually married many wives, and then getting married to many wives reduced the rate of celibacy. Now, the coming of Christianity and many other westernized cultures, which I want to believe is what Son of Light was trying to make us understand in his narrative, that somebody came and told us how to live according to his own culture, painted what our fathers, like those in Bamileke and from So, those from different parts of Cameroon and Africa, they made us to see it as bad. And they made us to see it as bad, so that one man should be one woman. On a geographical and natural proportion, the rate of women and the number of women that exist and the number of men that exist is not the same. In most society, it's usually not the same. So
Mr. Wincom, let me just put one stop. Madam Nadesh, how can you fight prostitution? Do you know why we have prostitutes?
Now,
you understand? Okay, thank you.
All right,
let me continue. Yes.
So you see, in this slide, if we have to practice monogamy as the right thing, so is the right thing? I don't know on what basis they were saying that is the right thing, because they say polygamy has jealousy between two women and they cannot share. The women today cannot be polygamous because they were told that it is a bad thing. So they grew up seeing it as a bad thing. You in the house, you're not fine. In church, you say it's not fine. In the worst part is when they begin to categorize it as sin. Nobody will want to understand. So our forefathers were just mere sinners. They could destroy the hellfire by now, according to the narrative. And those who were sinners actually mastered the Shema and they got married and stayed in their marriage for long. Us that came with a solution that we know as the righteous ones cannot stay with one woman. And now we have, this has helped to produce an increased rate of single women in the society. I'm not talking about single women that were married before. Single women that have never enjoyed, they have never they are not taking part in the joy of being married or having a man as their own. There is a natural biology when somebody gets to a certain age, they either start needing a man or they start needing a woman. On the different sexes, depending on their sex. It's a natural phenomenon. It's not whether you want it or not. If you look at these ladies that are single and 35, 40, you see them, when they go to weddings, there is actually this feeling that ignites in them without their consent. And now you are that kind of age, or you're in a stage where you know that you yourself know that you're supposed to be with a woman or a man, and you're no longer, you're not with a man that you can call your own. Definitely, if you are not married, then you, even if it means having somebody's husband, they will swipe it. And in today's society, we have a very, 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 very...
Mr. Wincom, I'll just drop in. Madam Nade said, even if they commit these sins, there's what they call confession. So forgiveness has been insulted. The evil of mercy. Madam Nadesh, and so I listened to this thing and I was like, so I can confidently commit a sin because I have confession. I can confidently steal Mr. Wincom's wife because I have confession. There's a very big problem at the foundation. Let's proceed.
Now let me learn. Thank you so much, Remy Bell, for this. He says, okay. I think we are going to moderate it so we speak in an organized manner. Yeah, so let everybody have room to speak because I really want to hear what Lifespell equally has. So looking at this narrative, you will notice that men, because they started using the women as a target. Remember, the women are always a target. Before the serpent came, Adam was living with that snake and other animals in that garden, and nothing happened. When the woman came, the serpent passed through the woman. And today, the serpency came. A lot of these institutions are actually implemented with the education of the woman. The kind of things they teach women that is good and bad. The kind of things that they tell that this one is good and this one is bad. sometimes I should ask myself that you were saying that this thing is good or this one is bad. Which measure did you, which balance did you use to measure that? Because all of the things that we are saying, it came as an evil of polygamy. The same things are seen in monogamous homes. You see people that have embraced and they are getting married to their one women, but they have Deuxième bureaus. I can confidently say that very few percentage of men, it is as small as 0.001, practice monogamy. And if they do, it's because they don't really have money. Because those that have small money will look for Deuxième bureau. It is no news that a lot of men are living as couple, as a family, with their family, with the woman that is known to everybody. That this is my wife. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 children. But on the other hand, that same man has another house for a woman that he's hiding. And some cases, the women know. They know that adulterous. I know a case of a lady that has been with a married man for so many years, but and she's very comfortable with that. So at one point in time, you notice that if we have to go by this narrative of this fair-skinned people, you know that it actually distorted our society enough, and it left us with adulterous ladies, prostitutes, and different kind of derailing things. I don't want to say that is 100% the cause, but at a certain point when you notice that this lady is single and she needs her own man, and she cannot be a second wife to a man because it is clearly written in the Holy Book that being a second wife is a bad thing, and it is clearly written by the law, and some people are taking it to mock another people that going as a second or third wife is a bad thing. She's definitely going to be a solo lady that is sneaking to be sleeping with one man or another man. So she finds herself in this sphere. So if we have to confirm that assertion that not everybody has to get married, what happens to the other ones, especially the ladies that are quite single, and the men too? You see, so that is that's one point which I really wanted to evoke, so we have a good understanding of this. If we have to base our argument on the Bible, first thing which I want us to understand is our fathers that were actually polygamous, they understood this Shema. I will call it Shema. They managed the 3, 4, 5 women, and they managed them to old-ish, and they lived longer. I wouldn't say polygamy is the best option. It is as good as monogamy, because today people say practice that and they live happily. If we are coming to live happily and fulfilled, do we all agree that polygamy is equally a part of marriage, or do we say that it is a very bad thing, like they say or like they quote it? Because to date, and I know there are some people watching that are actually still practicing polygamy, and some of them are good. One day we were live like this, and a lady came and said she's going to get married to a man as the third wife, and she's doing it with her full chest. As a matter of fact, I met with this lady in the course of this week, and we were with one pastor, and she told the pastor, don't just waste your time. I have tell you that even if a single man comes, I love my man that as the third wife, and I'm going to get married to him like that. Now, she found happiness as a third wife. All right, you wanted to say something? Please, right on.
Yes, I want to say something because I must leave. So, in conclusion, I want to say that as we educate the young girl for marriage, we have to do the same with the young boy. And we need to let the young boy understand that marriage is something that you are taking someone who is different from you to live with. So when you live together, you need to develop some values, and those values have to be taught by parents. So we parents, we young parents who are going to send our children to marriage very soon, let us educate them correctly. Let us teach them to respect men. Young men must respect women. They have to let us also educate them to express their feeling. Is very important, because it is as if young men are not to express feeling. They are not to cry. They are not to. No, it is normal. Crying is something normal. So let them express their feelings. We should also teach them the sense of responsibility, because being a husband tomorrow means that you have to take care of a family. And if you have to take care of a family, you must be responsible for that family. Now,
All
when
right.
it comes to young girls, we need to educate them as we used to, but in that education, we need to add self-esteem. Very
Now,
important.
please,
Let
Mrs.
us
Nadesh,
educate
I want us to
our
make it.
children to.
All right, Mr. Nadesh, I want us to make it easy since you're about to go, because I really want to get some of these striking points from you. I was really looking forward to have them. Let's do it this way.
Madam
Let's
Nadesh
start.
want run. You
Let's,
know, want answer our question about confession. You want run and run soon. Maybe I understand, Madam Nadesh.
I'm sure she has some
No,
responsibilities.
no,
I'm sure
no,
she has
no,
some
no, 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 no.
responsibilities.
If you want, we can discuss later on. I don't have any problem. I'll never run. It is just
I
that look at the
understand.
time and I have to put my
Yeah.
children
Thank you. That's why I say I
to
know
bed.
she has some responsibilities, and I really appreciate her presence here. That's why I want us to summarize it. Let's do it this way, starting with the boy child first. What are the
We are
things you
forgetting
think?
lifestyle. Lifestyle has to say something, Mr. Wincom. You've been calling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lifestyle has to say something.
Yeah, let's first go to come. Let's just shoot with another show she can actually handle. I understand she's a wife and a mother at the same time, and she has to handle some things tomorrow. So let's be a little bit considerate. Now, let's look at this. Let's start with the boys. What do you think boys should be taught by their parents? Let's do it like that, and then we go now to the girls. What are the things you think girls should be taught by their parents? So from there we can continue the conversation. Yeah. Let's start with the boys, then we'll go to the girls. What are the key things? Because
Yes, I
if you
said
say if
we
you
should
teach them
teach.
to be considerate, even the parents watching don't even understand what you mean by considerate. They might not even understand what you say if you globalize it. So I think if we can just highlight it and make it straight to the point, we can have a good understanding and benefit from this knowledge that you're going to give.
Yes. What am I saying? We should teach our young boys to be responsible. For example, you
Responsible.
should assign chores, even in the house. A boy has to do something. Don't say boys will do this and girl no. If he has to, if we are talking about cooking, everybody must cook. If we are talking about washing the floor, everybody must do that. In fact, let us involve our male children to all the chores we have in the house, because some of them may not get married. Some of them may not get married. But now, who will do those chores in their houses? So let us educate our children to do everything. That is one. Number two, we should teach them to respect girls, because a child who is respectful, I can assure you, a male child who is respectful, I can assure you that he will not have many problems in his marriage. Because a woman who feels that she is respected the way she respects the husband, she will only be submissive. Generally, women tend to be rebels when they realize that you want something that you don't give. If you want respect, give respect. In fact, the last sentence I may give here is that give what you want to receive. If you want love, love. If you want respect, respect. If you want to, in fact, everything you want, give it. You realize that once you give it, automatically you are going to receive. And we should not forget that women are multipliers. They are born multipliers. So if you give love to a woman, she will give you love a thousand times. If you give
I'm
her
sure
respect, she will
women
give
are
you
happy
respect
now.
a thousand times. Now, for the young girls, we already know we are used to preparing them for marriage. But in that preparation, we should develop their self-confidence. Let them understand that with or without a man, they can make it. It's very important. Another point we have to develop, let us help them be independent financially, psychologically, physically. In fact, they should understand that by themselves they can do so many things. We should not only always associate their success to 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 their husband, or no. Let the girl child understand that even if she stands alone, she can make it. It's very important. And let us also send our children, our girl children, let us let them dream. They should dream high. Because generally a young girl will say, no, I will not do it because my husband has to. No. If you can dream high, why not? Let us let them understand that career development is not meant only for men. They too, they can go through it. They too, they can be famous. You see, even if my husband is not famous and I am, what is the problem? Because we are married, we are going to put everything together for the betterment of our couple. So let us educate boys and girls in order to be, for the two of them to be happy. Those
All
are my
right.
last sentences.
Wow.
Give
Thank you
what
so
you
much.
want to receive, and let us educate boys and girls in order to be happy. Nobody
All right.
is meant, or nobody is created to make another person's happy. No. Start by being happy yourself. That is the base.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Nadesh. And I must say it was a great time being with you.
Thank you
Even
too.
though I have a lot of things to say, but I have to consider your time. We are going to say them even while you're offline. So I hope subsequently we'll have enough time with you, so we'll have this very beautiful conversation, because I have a lot of things, especially the aspect of
Definitely.
equality. And the next part is before you go, let me
Yes,
just show
yes.
you one question. The first thing
I
you
am
said,
open to that.
yeah, you said the boy child should be trained to be responsible. That is good, because in a case where he lives alone, you should learn how to cook, how to do certain those things. But I want to ask you something, madam. Would you advise your girl child to allow her husband to wash dishes as part of his responsibilities, and to wash the floor as part of his responsibilities? Will you advise your girl child to do that?
I did not get you well.
I want to ask something. Will
I
you
did not get you
advise
well.
your girl child? Will you advise your girl child to allow her husband to wash dishes as part of his responsibilities, or to mop the floor as part of his responsibilities?
Why not? Why not? Sincerely,
Because
why not? If
so
if
it's
I
part
am
of the man's
cooking, if
responsibility.
I am
So you
if
understand, it
if
should be
if,
part of
if
the.
I am cooking, no, see, I said when you are united, you should help each other. If I am cooking and my husband is helping me to mop the floor, what is the problem? And it
Now,
is something I also experience. So I don't see it strange. It is something that
now let me let
happened
me
in
let
my
me let me place a question where, so that I don't miss it. There are two ways a man can mop the floor. He can mop it because his wife is busy and he loves his wife and he wants to assist. Oh, I love my wife. I cannot allow her to finish. Look at the children. She's having a children. Look at this, look at that, look at this, and look at that. Let me assist her. And there's another way of him mopping the floor, which is all about, no, we're going to divide our work for the house. Let's divide the work, because me alone, I cannot sit and be doing everything. So it becomes a responsibility. So which of them will you advise your daughter to do? Should they draw a plain table as, okay, because we are living in this house, the two of us, and I cannot be doing all of the things by myself alone, so we should divide the work? Or is it that he should the daughter can do it and let the man take upon himself as the initiative to assist her because he sees the need to? That's how I wanted to put the question. That's why I say
okay.
a duty
See,
obligation.
when it is like dividing, it means that you are going to divide everywhere. You see, which is
Mhm.
not normal.
Yeah.
Normally, you have to assist when you are together. You see, it is like when I pay a visit to a friend, when I see her doing something, I'll not just sit there and be chatting without doing anything. No, I'll give her a helping hand. So that is how marriage is. Marriage is helping each other. When I am
Mhm.
doing something, you assist me. We are there to complete each other. I am there to complete my husband, and my husband is there to complete me. So if I am doing something, he can also do another thing without any problem. It is
Okay,
not
if he
like
does not
dividing.
want to do it,
I love you. Eh?
what if he does not want to do it? Like some people, there are some people that don't like to wash dishes. There are some that don't like to mop
Not
floor.
some people, many men. And when they don't do it, they create frustration. The woman becomes frustrated because she does almost everything alone, and she sees marriage now like a burden, not like something that we decided to create together, but something like you are imposing on her. So if you want to have the best of your wife, give her a helping hand, and you'll see
All right.
that it
I'll,
maybe all through the day she will have time to take care of everything, and when you come back in the evening she will also take care of you because you have given her a helping hand. But when you allow her to do everything in the evening, at night, when you will like questioning her that I want this, she will say no, I am tired. You see,
all right.
so if you want her to give you the best, you too, you have to assist her. You need to give her a helping hand. It's
All
very
right.
important. So if you educate the boy to give a helping hand to her wife, he will never refuse when he will get married. So let
All
us
right.
start it at the base. Education at the base, very important.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Nadesh. And I must say, you gave some very striking points, which are part of the things which are being preached today. But I want, if I must say something while you are present, is to advise every young girl to capitalize everything on love, because love is one of the greatest forces. You see that dish that you want a man to wash, if he does it, if you have a good melange, if you had a good love combination, he's going to wash that dish, and he can even wash your pants without you doing it. But when a woman is coming, when a younger is stranger, your man is supposed to he is supposed to assist you. It becomes like an obligation, and when he does not do it, she becomes dissatisfied, and she becomes very, very angry, and you begin to see rifts in the house. Meanwhile, male perspective, most men, when you tell him there is an obligation to do some things, most men will not do it. But there are things that there are things which they can normally do without any problem. If it is coming from an angle of love, they'll do well. But you begin to say, I don't carry the pikin, I don't tire, you go do the one. You will begin to see a very strong resistance. So what I might clearly say as a reaction is, if love is a thing that can melt the man's heart or bring a good melange of the work, there is no amount of instruction that you can give to a man that he will listen other than love. If you want, you try to tell the man you should do something, you will see the reaction. And when you actually have this good love bond, he upon himself will use his initiative to do it. I, for one, I will never be there and then I have a junior sister and she's going to buy a gas bottle. She's going to buy gas. First and foremost, I have physical strength. I will do it myself, despite whatever thing. I, for one, I cannot be there, then I see a mother struggling to do something and I allow it. You see, those are the things. Why? Because I have that concern. If your husband can have that concern, consideration, and love for you, then all of those things, to do them is not going to be anything. So me, I would just prefer that we should not teach the ladies to have this mindset of it's an obligation for the man must help me. That's why I ask the question that, what if the man does not want to do it? You see, if she knows that the man must do it and he does not want to do it, it becomes a problem. But if she knows that the man can do it and he cannot do it, even he does not do it, it will not be no problem. And in most cases, the man would like to do it, because it must be a very heartless man to sit and see a woman suffering like that and allow it. Yeah, Mrs. Nadesh, you can shoot one light so we can jump to nice.
Let me add one last thing to what you are saying. You see,
Right.
if you educate the boy child to assist, to help,
I'm listening.
so we can just say let love lead.
All right,
Let
awesome.
love lead, both to men
Okay.
and women.
Now we have, thank you so much, Mrs. Nadesh, and it was really great having you. I mean, we shared a lot.
Did you
and
get
was-
me?
I can hear you. We say we can say let love lead, right? Let love lead. That's what you said, right?
Network issue.
Oh la la. Sorry.
The network is
Now,
really disturbing.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, it's okay. Now it was really great time being with Mrs. Nadesh, and I must confess that a lot of us
Let
got a lot
love
of
lead.
information. All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Nadesh. We got the word let love lead. Let love lead. That's what you were saying, right?
Okay, have a wonderful night. See you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me take a few comments and then we shoot directly to live spell. Today is a very interesting day, like I said it before, and like you all can see, it's already interesting. This Remy says, but I want to know if there should be any gender. Okay. He was trying to emphasize on the question. Let me see this comment. Auntie Mervis, glad to have you, Auntie, and hope you're doing okay. She says, yes, irrespective of the gender difference, each person's desire and interest should be respected and not just one's partner dominating the relationship. So both partners need to make the same amount of money. Wow. A woman can become a president and a minister, not only a man. Okay, I love this comment. So 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7 says, a woman is an equal gift to a man, also equal partner, as more satisfied and have better overall marital equality than couples where once dominated or one spouse dominated, where one spouse dominated. Okay, than couples where one spouse is dominates, where one spouse dominates. Sorry, that's no one feels threatened. Okay, that's for no one to feel threatened and can. Oh, that's a whole long comment. We're going to get the reactions to this. Say one. Okay, sorry. I come and say not everyone is supposed to get married to me. Means an individual taking a personal decision. I know people who are not interested in marriage. Getting married first is not guaranteed for a lasting marriage. So we have to see all angles. Well, we're not prepared for something. We don't have the right way. We should expect failure. So my response is equality in marriage. Okay, Auntie Mary, say, all right, let me take another comment. I saw some beautiful comments which I want to just read rapidly. We have a lot of men and women single. Now, my advice is they should gather and marry themselves so we can rest. Singles, connect. If you are single, connect in the comment section. Comment so we can start seeing how we do this thing make it work. We need to. Just today, I was wondering why young people are married. Is they say, okay, indeed, everybody cannot be married. This is the point that we are going to hit hard on. It says the mere demographic reality of the world makes it clear. The male to female ratio on the planet Earth is at least 2:3. If every man must marry only one woman, how do you accept the excess number of women to marry? However, at childhood, both the boy and girl should be educated on how to be the best possible husbands and wives according to who they are, their abilities, etc. Thank you so much. But that one woman, one man, we are going to come to it. This one says, okay, before talking, let's know some women and men grow up to be rainbow people. Okay, rainbow people. Chuele, those are the ones I don't actually identify with that. Okay, let's look at some other comments. Say no, I believe there was okay. This one says if a couple has to get to the point of making verbal agreement on household chores, then that marriage will either end in divorce anytime soon, or one of them will even die of violence. Thank you so much, Remy Bell. This is one sweet thing. This one says that too will depend on the two are working together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've had this very sweet conversation and it's been going very smoothly. And all along, we've had one of your favorites, one of your best people, and a lot of you love him so much, Lifespell. He's been following so keenly. Welcome, Lifespell. I'm glad to
don't wait to tell, call Lifespell. Don't wait. Lifespell, please tell us, give us ideas. I beg.
Thank you, Wicom.
Glad to have you. I mean, we're glad to have you today. Like, wow. How are you doing? And hope you're doing okay. I hope everything is okay over there.
No, I'm okay. And you?
All right.
I can see that everything is okay.
No, we thank God we are all good and very okay. Okay, now, Lifespell, we are looking at preparing the girl child and the boy child for marriage. The first thing I want to find out from you, what do you think as preparing the boy and the girl child is concerned? What are aspects? Should they be prepared for marriage, and what kind of preparation should be given to them? Is it equal preparation or preparation for boys apart and preparation for girls apart? Please, over to you.
Okay. Thank you once more. Again, I would like to say that this topic is a very complicated topic. Complicated because it is only from a point of perspective that one can intervene, because marriage is a question that is always controversial, because cultures differ from one geographic point to another,
Yeah.
and every culture has uh, a founded and stable law that
Yeah.
governs marriage in those communities. So
Yeah.
what I would say, that's from a rational point of view. I know many people listening will not be in accord with what I will say, and some people will be in accord with what I will say, but I am going
Yeah.
from a rational point of view, not from a social point or from a particular community point of view.
Yeah.
Uh, so, talking about training a young man or a young woman for marriage, I would like to say that this is something that begins from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
I am an educational
Yeah.
analyst, and there are many things that it is only when you learn the art to train someone that you realize that there are many things that escaped our parents, and they are also escaping us in our parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And you start thinking that it is necessary for people to take seminars to get educated on how to do good parenting, because doing good parenting is not only for you to boast that I am a good parent. No, it is to ensure that the society continues in a good lead. And
Mm-hmm.
today, the society is almost weighing left because of the parenting children are receiving nowadays.
Yeah.
Just for example, in my generation, we
Yeah.
don't watch TV until when your parents decide. There was a time to watch TV.
Yeah.
When your father is in the parlor, your mom is looking at her TV programs, you are in the room reading or sleeping. But
Correct.
today it is the opposite. When the
Yeah.
child is in the when the child is at home with the parents, it is instead the reverse. They
Yeah.
have put cartoon, the child is looking, and the father wants to look news. The father cannot look news, because if you change the channel, the child will start crying and you will allow the child. So that is where parenting begins.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good.
we are failing. We are failing on proper parenting. So training a child for marriage begins when the child is still a baby even, because I won't lie to you that there are boys today that will never respect a woman because they grew up with their fathers and their fathers did not respect their mom.
Mm-hmm.
There are boys today that ended up in polygamous marriage or in monogamous marriages because their fathers involved in those type of marriages.
Mm-hmm.
There are boys who beat up their wives every day, or who beats up their wife. Let's just put it that way, because they saw their parents doing that. Likewise, as female children, when
Mm-hmm.
when you parent your children, there is something that we say in child psychology that children don't listen to what you tell them to do. They do by example, because the parts of their brain that processes information does not function well. Look at how difficult it takes to tell a child that sit down and the child sits down. But when you sit down, the child will see you sitting down, and the child will understand that this is where I have to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So children do by seeing us doing. And if you take a child that grew up in a house where the father loves the mom, the mother loves the father, they work in harmony, I bet you that child is going to grow up to be the best husband or best wife a man can ever have. So I will say that there is no curriculum or curricula designed that a man or a woman goes into the curricula and at the end of the curricula receives a certificate that you're fit to get married. It takes a certain training, and that training begins from childhood. Today we have a lot of marriages, and I want to put it in quote, Christian marriages that fails because we forget to start training the children from childhood into marriage. You don't train a male child like giving him education like how can I put it? Let's say I am a father. I am a father, and
Yeah.
my wife goes to the market to go and buy
Yeah.
foodstuffs, and I let her go alone. She comes back, I allow her pack out the things alone. My son is watching what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And there's no way I will tell my son that you need to assist your wife when she's going to the market and he will listen. There's no way. He's seen me doing it. But if my wife is going to the market and I carry my son along and say, let's go with your mom to the market, as she's buying, we are holding the bags. As she's buying, we are holding the bags. As she
Yeah.
returns from market, we are taking the bags into the home. We are assisting her to put the things up together. That is the education my son is going to receive. And bet me tomorrow, he is going to do the same thing with his wife and his children. That is clinical.
Most likely, yeah.
That is clinical. There is no way. But today we have parents who are not at home. We have parents who allow everything to the television. We have parents who allow everything to social medias and to house helps that we engage. And to get a conclusion with this, I will say we need to educate and train our children from childhood, and we need to watch what we are doing before our children. And there's this
Now,
point Madam Nadesh was talking about equality,
thank you. That's what
equality,
I
equality in marriage. In
Yeah.
marriage, I will say something. Equality, it is good that we define the context of what we are using. And this is what
Yes.
has been making people hit their heads over into marriages.
The
Equality
biggest
is a
problem we have
very equality is a very sensitive word, and that word is used in precise context, and I can say it is even used in mathematical context. If you take equality out of mathematical and scientific context and place it into social context, it brings a whole problem. Because Mr. Wickham, you are a
yeah.
man, I am a
Yeah.
man. You do in audiovisuals, I do
Yeah.
in audiovisuals, but we are not equal.
Yeah.
You understand? We are
Yeah.
not equal.
Mhm.
You are a
I,
man, you get married to a woman, you make children. I am a man, I get married to a woman and I make children. But
yeah.
we are not equal.
Yeah.
But it's simple that from a logical point of view, because you are a man, I am a man, you're doing audiovisual, I doing audiovisual, you have a wife, I have a wife, you have children, I have children, we should be equal. That is mathematics. But from a
Yeah.
social point of view, we are not equal
Yeah.
because there are a whole lot of social aspects that surrounds equality and makes people hit their heads over this this topic of can a man be equal to a woman? I will
Yeah.
say in
Yeah.
marriage,
Mhm.
we should not be talking about equality, we should talk about respect. And the way you train your child to be, the way you train your daughter, your son to be, you should train them in You should train them in the theory of respect. If you train your son to respect a woman, your wife, your son is going to respect his wife. Same like for the daughter. So I say equality should be replaced with the word respect. Should be
Mhm.
replaced with the word respect. Because this issue is bringing a whole even cultural disorganization, and this is where I will be shocking you and
Yeah.
most men listening to me, because marriage comes with a whole lot of training and a whole lot of realities that builds up your personality. I
Mhm.
don't know if some people
Now,
might have listened. There's one cartoon news that is going on around Douala, at one neighborhood in Douala, where a man went to plead with his wife to come back home, and the wife refused categorically to come, and he committed suicide
oh la
because
la.
somewhere along the line, personality, there's a problem with personality. So, Son of Life was talking about of Light was talking about a man should have money before getting married, should have a social backing. That is one of the points, but it is not all of the points that we need. Money is not all of the point that we need to make up a successful home, because there are a lot of other issues a man should be prepared into. Like,
Now, let's before we go to the other issues, I want us to hit hard on this equality thing. Now, if you look at it very well, I want us to go progressively. We take one, we trash,
yeah,
and go to the next. Now, if we look at it keenly, equality was brought by the white man. And from the coming of that equality, if you look at it, the people that really understand this equality are men that are out of Africa. Because they know that if they're there, if they born the way for talk about yeah, I'm the head here, na problem. The white man system is funny. I stand to be corrected. Animal, um, women, children, all of them come first, and then the man is coming last. In such a way that in most cases, the man actually falls prey to little legal things that might implicate him in a scenario of a domestic violence or anything that has to do with him having issues with the woman. And in a lot of cases, he ends up being the victim. We have people like Tyrese Gibson that are actually in serious chaos. We have a lot of instances where you see a lot of men crying out because of this. The system places it that way. Before these people came to Africa, we had our system. And they cannot live. I cannot live and go and begin to tell a Muslim that you are not eating pork, it is wrong. You're supposed to be eating pork. Or this your white gown that you're wearing to pray, it is wrong. It is you're supposed to wear a dress. That is his culture. This is my culture. But these people left their place and came and forced the thing, caught our people and beat them and did all kind of things for us to accept their own culture and their way of life. Okay, they defeated the ones that they defeated, put it by law. I'm a law. The law says that I'm a Christianity sin and you go to hell. I'm my social life. I'm a woman empowerment. All of those things, they join it and impose their lifestyle on us. Before they came, the word prostitute don't exist in many African languages. In many languages, in our dialect, the word prostitute does not exist. They exist in their English. They came and talked of one man. Now, when I was reading the comment of Remy Bell, so I was going to come back to this point of one man woman. They came with a concept of equality. In a very political way. They say the man is the head, and then they come again and say the man and the woman are the same. In a very political way. When we begin to train the men and the women as the same, can two heads lead a ship? Because it's very political to say the man is the head, and then you come again and begin to contradict and say you people are the same. It's either he's the head or people are the same. It's either two head or one is the head, and the other person is listening. because this should be something like a division of labor. We'll begin to talk about equality. We'll begin to deviate the division and begin to format the women to begin to act like men. And this is one of the biggest challenges that are faced by home. Lo and behold, if you are versed with conjugal situations where the man and the woman have issues, it is principally in most cases because the woman is seeing herself like the man and is expecting the man to begin to act as a woman. In most cases, you don't come out because you never talk sorry. You don't come out do so because I'm gonna make my point may be known. An argument comes in. Whereas if you have to go back to the wisdom of those our fathers, those our old heroes, they had little or no arguments. They had a way of doing it, and the women were comfortable. They stayed there. I know many women that were part of this, their homes, that the woman cannot stay. No talk for my master, so no talk for my papa, so no talk for my master, so you not talk for my papa, so na my master, would I leave it for me? But today, what do we have? That one, in the fair year, we are not men that are useless power. Because when expectations are not met, it comes with ungratefulness. There's ingratitude involved when the expectations are not met. If the girl child is trained to be submissive to the man, she will be submissive happily. If the man now is trained to take care of the woman, she will take care of him happily and have a good functioning. But when you train the girl child to be as equal as the man, there is a way in which some other informations are going to get into her head other than what you are not saying. He's supposed to do this one, he's supposed to do that one. When we begin to put suppose, it comes with a lot of expectations. A lot of women back then who had unfaithful men, I am in no way in support of infidelity. If you want to get married, there are two men, there are problems. If you want to be with one, stay with the one. There are men that will go and sleep outside, come back drunk. When they enter, the mothers will come, still receive him, take care of him. In a lot of those cases, the men do not really continue. But today, when we have instances of this equality thing, when the one do one back and back, the one do one back and back, you start seeing a do me kind of relationship, or Tom and Jerry, of constant riffs. And it results to a lot of differences we have in relationships today and marriages. Because if the woman is equal to the man, no, the two of them should do things equally. They should do the chores equally. They should bring the money equally. They should do everything equally, and they should take the decision equally. And the two of them are supposed to paddle the ship of that relationship equally. Let's see how it's going to go. So me, I might not really identify much with the Western concept of equality. I don't do that. I don't. Yes.
Actually, Mr. Wickham, as I told you, equality is a very specific and contextual word. You see, when this issue of equality, of gender equality came into place, equality came into place not mostly intended into marital affairs. The gender equality came into place, but into the socio-economic and socio-professional aspect of life.
Yeah, women to get into governance.
Yeah, women to get into governance, and women to get equal rights into jobs, into professions, because there are some professions that before, if you are not a man, you could not do it. If you're a woman, that you can do it. It is like today. Let's just take an example that is very common in our society. Let us not go far. Today, if you are in one neighborhood and you see among the bike riders that pile up at the junction waiting for customers, and you see a woman who does biking, she will be the most popular biker. It is something bizarre. You understand?
Yes. Yeah.
It is something bizarre. Most people will say that girl is doing biking. There's a bike. These girls. You understand? Because
I understand very well.
Somehow culturally, it is stitched into our minds that this is a profession for hustlers.
Men.
Hustlers are men. You understand? For men.
Yeah.
So when the concept of equality came in this context of what a man can do, a woman can do. It
Mm-hmm.
was not in the context of marriage, of a man, a wife is equal to
To the
the
husband.
man, to the
Mm-hmm.
husband. It wasn't into that context. It is now
Mm-hmm.
that feminism took the context and they started a new type of education that they
Well,
want to take it into the household. And as I earlier said, for those children, for those girl child children who were left to be educated by the society, meanwhile their mothers could educate them, they received those education. Today, girls are mostly being educated by TikTok, by Facebook,
we can imagine the kind of jargon they learn on TikTok with all the
by
products.
Facebook and televisions. And what are the type of movies we are watching today? Look at for instance, you have your 16-year-old daughter who
Mm-hmm.
is watching a Nigerian movie uh, where a rich guy from the city comes and marry her from her poor background and changes the life of her family and her own life.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the movie she will be watching repeatedly. That is unconsciously the information she'll be taking
Education.
into her mind,
Yeah. She's being
and
educated.
she'll be expecting that the man that she should also meet up with should be that man from the city who will come and change the family life. And once she does not obtain that from the guy she is with, she is going to not consider him as the husband
Yeah.
because she has already put a certain form of reality into her
Standard.
mind, which is fictional, which is fictional. And that is one point that I want that our brothers, our sisters to get into because Madame Nader said something that I am not in accord with. She said that not everyone was called to have a husband or a wife, or everyone was called to marry. I am in
Mm-hmm.
disaccord with that point. Why? Because even those who died unmarried have once
Mm-hmm.
had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, true or false. They
Most.
have once they have once had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Even
Mm-hmm.
those ladies who sometimes go and end up to become sisters in convert, some of them have emotional propositions,
And,
and some have emotional affairs before getting there.
yeah.
But this just points us that everyone who is a man, who is a woman, God did not create you and give you abilities to procreate without destining you for someone who would take you as a wife or a husband. But the
Mm-hmm.
issue is that we need to understand that there's a lot of education, there's a lot of contextual uh, ideas that have come into place that is making that today there's a lot of interference with the way society is to function. God gave us one particular issue to come and do on earth. It is to procreate, go and multiply yourself in every domain of your life. Go
Yeah.
and multiply yourself. So there is no way a lady will sit and say that I was not made for marriage. Know that if you are not made for marriage, it is because you received an information that formatted the way you think for you to think that you were not made for marriage. Every lady is made for marriage. And believe me or not, nature has a way it organizes things naturally. Because you might think that you might think that a lady of 20 years is only bound to get married to a man who is maybe 4 or 5 years older than her. No. A lady of 20 years can get married to a boy who is 10 years the day of in her generation. A lady of 20 years can get married to a man who is 30, 34 years of old. So nature is organizing life to a way that everybody gets fitted somewhere at a point of time. Look at today. We come might come. You might have a guy from Cameroon or Nigeria who gets married to an Oyibo, to a woman in US or in Italy. Does it mean that the fact that a man from Africa has married a woman from Europe, does it mean that the man's intended or supposed wife in Africa will not get married to another man, or will not longer marry because the husband has married a white woman out of the continent? No.
Yeah.
Nature organizes everybody into marriage. That is one point I wanted to take for us to understand. And let
All
me
right.
give this other example. Let me shoot with this other example before we go into that equality part. We have
Yeah.
had families in our community, Mr. Wickham, you can be witness of that. We have
Yeah.
families in our communities where they have 5 children, 7 children, and most of them are ladies. And in that family, all the girls are married. Bride price, court, wedding, and all of us always go to those compounds to attend wedding.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have another family, which is those in the same neighborhood, that have daughters. But it is difficult for those daughters, those girls to marry. Is it because that family is not was not meant to get married? No, it is not because of that. It is because there are certain issues of life that causes interference and provokes people not to end up where they ought to end up. And by this, I will tell our younger sisters who are not married and our younger brothers who are not married to do these two things if they intend to marry or they intend to do whatever decisions they want to take. The two things are that choose your friends wisely. Because I know of issues of ladies who are not married because they were working with a friend of them that they were calling my bestie, my sister. But that is the friend who bewitched them not to get married. Or
Yeah.
that is the friend that whenever a boy wants to come and cut her, she
To
is the
spoil
one
it.
rushing towards the guy and say that that my friend you see, so she's hooking up or she's doing hookup. Don't even go there. But you are innocently walking every day with those girls, with those
Yeah.
friends you call your bestie, without
Yeah.
knowing that they are the ones bringing you down, without knowing. And the same thing goes with boys. Choose your friends wisely. If not, you will end up crossing your opportunities in life and at the end of the day, you will start saying that this is how my life was meant to be. I was not meant to get married. This is that, but not knowing that you were the reason of the life you're living. And the second thing you need to do is that you need to choose your activities very wisely. There are
Yeah.
certain activities we choose to do, and there are certain things we do that will bring us to some places that will make in such a way that our life is not going to go on the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Choose your activities wisely, and you will have the life that you ought to have. So
All
I
right.
believe that everyone is called to get married, and everyone can successfully engage in a successful marital relationship uh, as they want.
Now, Lifespur, you made mention of some things which are very, very important, and I would like us to emphasize on. The truth is that a lot of the time in life, we are the cause to some of the things we go through. We should not like a lot of we like to always play victim too much. We play a lot of victim. You don't expect to actually have a bad character and expect somebody to like to stay with you.
Never.
You see, sometimes the character we possess is a hindering factor. Sometimes there are a lot of factors that we do to ourselves and say, I was supposed to be like that. No, there is cause and there is effect. And these are things which we need to take into consideration. I know the case of a lady that actually, she had a potential guy. Listen to what happened. She had this guy, a friend of mine actually supposed to get married to her. His parents have already gone and met this lady's parents. You know how we do it in Africa. They already have this good plan going on. All of a sudden, one guy just came from Dubai. As the lady hear aeroplane, now for the way he had go. This guy is a businessman. He's a businessman, and when he was talking to the lady, he was working under somebody, you see. And he was seeing his life, the way this guy would talk about the lady, you know, with men is different because men will say, boy, so I want to do this, I would like about this, so mommy my life so. You see? And now this lady went to the other guy because the other guy came and was very fast. You know how bush fallers are when they come, the one at Dubai faller. When they come, they actually have a lot of promises and they want the thing
no be bush faller, na desert faller.
You understand the point? So they want it very, very fast. This lady left her potential husband. I said they were already the point of getting married. Her father has already gone and seen the girl's parents, and they were actually there preparing on how to do things properly. By the time the lady went, this guy begged this girl. There are things which I want us to actually look at, especially because some of the things which we mentioned here earlier today, that men should respect women, the equality. We have talked about equality. They will need to look at the respect and all of that. How to treat women right. Those things. Let me write them so I don't forget. Now, this guy went like a gentleman and begged this lady. This is what he did. Every time he will be begging her and she will refuse. He will change. The lady eventually blocked him. You see, this guy will change. He will buy a new SIM card, put it, and beg her. She will refuse. You buy a new SIM card. When she noticed that is the guy, she will stop the call. The guy did that for a moment until he was depressed. And he got tired himself. At one point, he got fed up. He had to pick the broken pieces of his life. He was there with the lady, and finally, he met a different girl. As we speak today, he and the other girl are married. So, they got married. And while the original girl which he was supposed to get married to, that was following a Dubai fella, finally things turned sour. And she started following back the guy, hoping that they're going to make things work. Every time she was like, I really regret my action. I wish you can find your heart to forgive me. I wish. And from there, the guy was like, me, I'm already married, me. He asked me that which kind of thing. I'm already married. I'm somebody else's wife. You see the ring, married. And now they're ready to return. Instead of taking responsibility for your atrocities, I am not fortunate. I have bad luck. I was supposed to be like that. My things are like this. My things are like that. Oh, nature.
And permit me to tell you this, Mr. Wickham. If you do some thorough investigations behind that issue, you will realize that you will see that there was a friend's advice that slipped into the issue.
You understand?
There was a friend who told that girl that Massa, this is bushfaller. You are lucky, my friend. Just accept him. A bushfaller comes, you should accept him. It is a good opportunity.
It's better to cry in Dubai than to cry in Cameroon. Joy, aeroplane room. You understand? These are the kind of things because we are in a society where it is normal for a lady to dump a man that has invested his all on her and go to somebody else. It is normal.
But
But when a man,
when a man dumps a lady
now
that has
use,
done, uh, the man is a very bad man.
and all of this is as per the preparation that we have given to ourselves in the guise of the education and the kind of information we accept. It's very normal for a woman to mistreat a man, because this is going to lead me to the next point where they say we have to learn to respect women and treat women right. It has how do they treat women right? Because this thing has transformed a lot of men into simps. If you look at in today's society, being a gentleman does not mean you should treat a lady bad. I go for the fact that understand your position as a woman. If you respect the man, be with him. If you don't respect him, don't be with him. Don't think it's a favor that you're being with a man and you're doing him anyhow. You see, most ladies today, they say, I will take the money, he can give the money, he can do so. He go come beg me any small thing. I don't go for my buy a house. And some of the fathers too are just physical human demons. Your child will have a problem. He's married to a man. When he comes to the house, some cases it's even the mothers that will go and take the child, the girl from the house. I know a case where the mother went herself. I went and took the daughter, and I already arranged the daughter to get married to somebody else that is having money at that moment. So if we look at it, we have drifted the value from human values, virtues, and actually love itself, which is the original family bond, to interest, money that is just figures. Money is just figures. Figures. Anybody can have any amount of money, to be very frank. And you will see they will start advising themselves, I mean, date the man, say the one I talk with you, master the one get money. If you like the one, just keep your other side, then they take money for the one. In the history of some very disappointing experiences which men go through, you'll see the woman say, the man not they do so, he doesn't have the behave so, he doesn't have to do so. If you look at it keenly, you will understand that there is a history of cheating behind. There's a history of betrayal behind. There's a thing that the woman has done that has caused the man to act that way. A lady posted a story I saw online that said, my husband, that is a pastor, has left me with our children. We have 3 children, and he has left me and has gone to get married to a different woman. And when I went to the comment section, I went to the comment section, I saw people say, like, Madam, you must say what you have done. Because we have taught the women that they need to do any nonsense. No, leave them. That's a woman day. That's what they are mob day. You're going to leave them. I had a situation where I'm not the type of person that will tolerate disrespect from any human being. Now, not to my face. I went to a situation where I was in an office and the woman was running her mouth. I addressed her and she tried to insist. I told her, I'm going to take some other action that's going to implicate you. So the man there was actually a legal person. I was like, no, you see, Emmanuel, c'est comme ça que les femmes sont. You have to calm down. You have to be like, no, this is bad. This is clearly bad. We wouldn't need the woman to treat people badly, and we have to accept because that is how women are. That is bad. And we are giving a bad information and a bad education. This is education we have been able to educate the girl children that are becoming thorns to the flesh of the men. Most men tolerate the women. Most men endure the women because they have managed, so that they have managed to educate the women to be bad and in such a way that you will not go see better one for any side. So you go for manager and manager. Why? When they can do better. Anything you do, now so they are mob day. Now so woman day. Woman power now for a mob. If woman is power now for a mob, then my power now for my blow. If you have the right to use your power, I can also use my own power. So if it's a power thing, don't complain if you use your power and I use mine. These are the education we should get. We shouldn't make one person to be on the disadvantaged side while another person keeps pumping bad habits. It is okay for a woman to cheat. When you want to talk after, they say, you don't marry T, now you're a woman. How does marriage start? When you train the girl child to be flirting and entertaining every Tom, Dick, and Harry around in the name of getting the best one, do you think that kind of girl child is going to be faithful? This is where we have the issue. Now, keeping the aspect of infidelity aside, coming to equality, I personally believe there's a degree of reference and hierarchy that should exist in any institution. I run an audiovisual center, and there are different persons there, and everybody understands where they are. They understand where they belong. They understand who they are, and they understand what they are contributing to it. The husband is the head. The woman comes to make the head to function well. And if we begin to train the women to see themselves as the head as being equal to the man, we should not accept anything that conflicts, because imagine a car having two steerings. The husband is this way, the woman, wife is this way, and we are driving. All of us are in the same. After all, we have equal height, equality between the two of us. It's definitely going to lead to accident. And this is a thing that have given birth to things like we go divide the work for the house. I know if the work or the work. Papa, you go to cook Sunday then. I know if you cook every day. Papa, you go do so. And una go divide half of born the pikin now, because you go born one, I born one too. There are certain things which we cannot cheat. And we will begin to be, and all of this is the education that we give out. If you speak to a lot of young men today, they don't get married because they are meeting a lot of women that have not been trained. And you cannot act wrongly to a gentleman and expect him to treat you right. Most women are scared to submit, or are scared to be under the leadership of a man, because they feel like I go be like him, so I better be wise. Whereas when you are instead wise, the man is going
Mr.
to act
Wickham,
to deploy your wisdom. Yeah.
I will also say that the training also, some of our sons also are not sufficiently trained, because
Yeah.
I still say this. I want to give a challenge to all the men and
Yeah.
all the women. Train your men to have a strong personality, to be charismatic, to
Yeah.
know their values, to know who they are, what they stand to do. Teach them all these methods of life. Teach them that scam do exist. Teach
Yes.
them that there are people who are out there
To take
who
advantage
will
of you.
manipulate you, who will take advantage of you. Train them how to identify those people, and train them how to to take to move out and walk out away from those types of manipulations. Train your sons how to have personality, because there's one issue that makes marriage to fail today and make people not to have the right information.
Yeah.
There's one thing I always reason with. It is scriptures. There's
Yeah.
something about marriage in the scripture that most men and most people don't take into consideration when talking about the head and the tail and whatsoever in the family. I
Yes.
want to say this, that God created man and created woman and assigns a duty to the woman. The duty of the woman was to be the helper.
Mm-hmm.
Let me create a woman to be a suitable helper of the man. Who is a helper? We should start by that. Who is a helper? Many people don't understand who is a helper, and that is where problems begin.
Yeah.
Many people don't even understand, when do I need help? Mr. Wickham, I am sure that today, if God comes before you and tells you, Mr. Wickham, how can I do to help you? I
Mm-hmm.
am sure that you are going to be embarrassed, because there will be a lot of things that you might not really know how to
Yeah.
put it.
To
Even
position
me,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
God will say, life spare, how can I do to help you? And I will be like, I want this, I want that, but there is something structural that we have not even identified how we need help. And
Yes.
most often people will tend to put that the help they need is money. We can give you money, but it will not help you.
Yeah.
You
So
understand? So
that's
what is the issue in a man's life that will necessitate him to need to need to have a helper. And believe me or not, you cannot help somebody if you don't have for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot help you with 2K if I don't have at least 3K
Yes.
on me. So it is very impossible for a woman to help you if she does not have material necessary to help you. Your wife can help you financially, she can help you morally, she can help you psychologically, she can help you mentally, and she can help you with strength
Yeah.
manually. And that is where people fail to understand. And before you need help, Mr. Wickham, let me just take this example uh, clearly. You might be going to do a shooting, you
Mm-hmm.
understand? And
Yeah.
you have maybe 3 cameras at hand, and you have 2 cameramen. You need a tech cameraman to have all the angles of your shots.
Yeah.
And you give me a call, you say, Hola, lifestyle, what's up? I say, I'm okay. You say, okay, I have this shooting, this and this and that. I need a cameraman. Please, can you come and just assist me? And we do this shot. I already have 2 persons at hand.
Yeah.
And I come and I help you. Why did you call me? You called me because I have the capacities of being a
Yeah.
cameraman to help you.
Yeah.
And
True.
why can I help you? Why can I help you? I can help you because you already have the camera and the assets for me to come and help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
True.
becomes different when you say you have a shooting and you don't have anything. And you say that lifestyle, please bring camera, please bring cameramen, please bring 2 shooters with you, please bring. That is another thing. It is no longer help. That is the same issue that applies to a man's life. And I am sure many men will not be in accord with me on this. The Bible says in scriptures that a man will leave the parents and will cleave
Yeah.
to his wife and they become one. And by the time a man leaves the parents, a man can leave the parent only if he can become independent. If you can pay
Mm-hmm.
your bills, if you are upright, if you are not going to commit suicides on the first woman that says no to you, or to the
Yeah.
first woman who breaks your heart, or to the first job you will lose, or to the
Yeah.
friend, or to the first friend that is going to betray you, or to the first business you are going to lose money into. I am sure, Mr. Wickham, you have tried to set up this enterprise
Well,
of yours and you have failed a lot of times.
several
It takes
times.
morale. It takes
Several
morale
times.
for a man to stand up. And even the Bible says a righteous man will fall 7 times and rise up 7 times.
Yeah.
You understand? A righteous man is a man who is upstairs, who is qualified
Yeah.
in every aspect, physically, financially, mentally, emotionally, you are balanced.
Materialism. Yeah.
So when you leave your house and you are independent to have a woman, it means that when you were a bachelor, you were doing your ex alone, now, Mr. Wickham.
Yeah. Sure.
You were doing your ex alone. You were
I was
washing
trying
your
myself.
dresses. You were
Yeah.
you were washing your dresses
I
alone.
clean myself. Yes.
You are cleaning yourself.
Yeah.
You are when you are sick, you're going to the hospital alone. You are looking
You
for
know.
money alone.
Yes.
And you're coming and opening e-pictures alone. You understand?
I'm telling you. Yes.
You are already doing all those things alone.
Yeah.
Why do you need to stop doing those things alone when you get married? Are you getting married for your woman to come and replace you? No. You're getting married in the same context as you calling me to come and assist you with the +1 camera that you have, but you don't have a cameraman to assist you in doing your filming.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
understand? So you getting married is like I am having my house. I do my dresses. I cook my food. I mop my floor. I do everything I want to do. And when a woman comes into my life, it does not stop me from washing my dresses. She
Yeah.
is coming to help me maybe because where I am working, I don't have enough time maybe to meet up on time, maybe with cooking, for
Is
instance.
the work. Is the
So she
work.
will cook. So she will cook. But it does not mean that if I have the time, I will not cook. I will cook
Yes.
because I understand that it is my duty and I am calling someone to come and help me in doing it. She's not obliged to do it. She is not
And it
obliged
takes
to do it.
only a helper to help you.
Yes, she is
Your
a
own helper.
helper to help me. And let us understand something that there's this saying in the village that they say that a beggar does not have choice. So, Mr. Wickham, if you are asking me to help you, you don't have choice to accept my terms and conditions of me helping you. If you ask me to come and do shooting with you,
Yes.
and you want me to shoot with you the whole day, and I tell that no, sorry, I cannot shoot with you the whole day. I can shoot with you today for 5 hours, and tomorrow I come and shoot for 5 hours. That is also going to influence your project. If you wanted to do and round up your project in 1 day shooting, you'll be forced to adjust your project in 2 day shooting.
Which
You
might not even
understand?
give the right result.
Which might not give the right result or might even give a better result. Because
2
you
a.m.
not doing the shooting in 2 days will also permit you to rest, and the actors will also rest, and they will come out tomorrow with a better idea and a new energy. So
Yeah.
if we train our male children to understand that the home you are getting a woman into is your home, and you have the sole responsibility to take care of that home and make it function, many women will not be doing chantage on men. Many women will not, many men will not return home and they will start beating their wives because the wife did chantage and said that I will not cook because I asked him a new cell phone and he did not buy for me. The husband will come, baby, where is my food? Master, go and get your food alone. Most men will get angry and they will start doing punching back. So I am
Most
working all the day out and I come, even for food, you cannot give me food. No, a
I work
man who understand his position, who understand who he is, who have the charisma of a man, will come home and the wife will say that master, go and get your food. Me, I'm not. The man will understand that before marrying you, I was coming home at 23 and I was getting something to eat. So it is not because you cannot give me that I will not eat. I will go and get myself something to do. And believe me, when you are a man and your wife does a certain chantage to you that way, and you don't reply to it violently, you go and get your food, whatever, and you sit down and eat. Do it once, twice. I bet you that woman will never repeat that action.
hey, Vice
Whatever you
President,
do to her,
in
that
this
woman
our
will never repeat that action.
Vice President
If
here, it is our dispensation. It is, see, there were times that even us, see woman gang for the area, even us, there are times when, because they like things that will make men to be in oppression, there were
and
tools that were used.
that is why I am saying that we should train our children, our men, son, not to be in oppression.
Because
The
see,
woman will walk down. And permit me, excuse me for breaking your story short. I just want to bring this illustration into the play to give you some
yeah,
ideas. You are the captain of a ship, and you have
yes,
people that are assisting you uh, to make the ship go forward. You see, when there's a worker that does not do what you want him to do in your ship, what
mm-hmm,
do? You punish the worker. Or if
yes.
the offense is too severe, you sack the worker and replace the worker.
In
You
most
understand?
cases,
In
wedding
most
machine
cases,
crashes. You go, you do the work, you get going. Let
you
somebody
get
who wants
going.
to work on
So we need to have this men mindset
it.
of
Because this is the
being
truth.
the
The
sole
captain.
captain of what you're doing.
Mhm. Now, this is what I wanted to say. in this dispensation of where we have trained women, you see this action, that's the man becoming a simp and just saying, well, I'm a gentleman. I watched a video of a lady actually punching a man, spanking the man and slapping him. If you see the slap, I watched that slap and vex me one, and the man was just there. Hey, pim, 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 pim. The man was there, and you see comment section, perfect gentleman, as the mad, perfect gentleman. These are the kind of things we have taught these men, our young men and older ones to. That is why they don't even get old. They will die high blood, accumulation of anger and angry things. The moment you begin to train a woman that she can do every nonsense and you tolerate it, you are building that beast that will finally consume you. It's like a lion you are feeding. That is a beast character. Before our fathers could sit, when our fathers are angry, they will sit and cross their leg, they will not eat. Mom will come and bring food, sit, wait, he will come and look at it and not eating. She will take it, she will feel bad. Until the day when he finally eats it, and she will become very happy. Today, Medanga, they were on the eating them, made a cook with no chop. I put a joking comment. As you just finish, put us on boom. As you know, chop, they say, nah, they can't move all the meat chop and master when I go to the chop, you know, and chop no. And the next day, because I show that she might not even cook. So this is what we are talking about, because the kind of way we are
cook, if she does not cook, you as a trained man, you go and cook, you cook.
And you start cooking your food in your house, in
you
your
cook
ship.
your food.
Because
yeah,
me,
in your ship.
I might not go with that narrative. I can cook because I like it. But if you are to sit in the house and lazy around and tell me you're not going to cook, then you're looking for my trouble. Or unless we agree to get a maid to do the cooking. But if you are not serviceable, you are not helping me. Like you said before, it's a helper. You came to help me so that I should no longer cook again and go and look for money. So that when I'm looking for money, you are cooking. That is a help you're doing to me. So if you are not helping me anyway, what are you doing in my life? You are not helping me to that to something as small as cooking.
Mr. Wickham, that is why I'm saying that we should not make that the same way you are calling me to come and assist you with one camera. You understand?
Yes.
And I am saying that a beggar does not have choice, so you must abide to all of my conditions. You should not also make that the conditions that I give to you should be a source of chantage to you, to put you on the dependent side. You understand? Because it is true we are asking for help, we are calling on to help, but we should also put barriers to protect our own integrity. You understand? I need help, but if I need help and the way you want to give me the help is damaging my integrity, I will not accept your help. I rather stay and not have what I need to have and than to have the help. That is why I am saying, please don't misquote what I'm saying. That is why I am saying that when you train your sons to have integrity, to have personality and character, and you get home, there is something your woman or your wife had to do, and don't interchange my context, and she did not do it because of a chantage. What do I call chantage? Chantage is any hold up situation that a woman is going to bring up at home, maybe because she asked something, or maybe there's a decision, a situation people need to take a decision, and you're not abiding to the idea she wants, and she starts frowning up against you.
Giving you attitude, mood swings.
Making you attitude just because there's a situation now, and she wants to use that not to assist you, and she changes attitude. That is chantage. Not under a normal situation where your wife will just refuse to cook or refuse to do something, and no, it is under a position of chantage.
Like trying to use it to manipulate you.
Use it to manipulate you, and you get home, you know that my wife is refusing to give me food because she asked for an iPhone 17 Pro Max and I could not buy it to her, so she's refusing to cook me food. Mola, I go in the kitchen and I do my food and I cook.
Thank you. All right,
By
I
the
get the
time
point.
I do it, by the time I do it 2, 3, 4 times, you will understand. If you are conscious of your marriage, you are the one that the next day when I come home, you are going to put food on the table and say that where it's there, sorry,
Yeah,
I am not even longer interested in it.
yeah,
I am no
and
longer
and and
interested in it.
yeah. So it's
So that is
what
actually, you were
I
saying
understand.
something.
I understand your point now very well. So it's a means of using a peaceful approach in a hostile situation. Yeah, in that case, I understand the gentility and how powerful gentleness and love can go to handle a chantage. But in another case where you, the woman, are putting up attitude, one thing which I want to make our sisters know for sure is that a relationship where the man is not comfortable, you will never ever force him to stay there. Oh. He has more time to be patient. And for some of us that don't even have patience like that too much, I know you know a relationship where the man is not comfortable, be rest assured. This is the reason why we have a lot of deuxième and troisième bureaus outside. A lot of them. Let me say a big shout out to Richie237. He's been doing some good job. He says, as a man before marriage, learn how to cook. Very important. He get why. And this I will say it again. Lifespan is a gentleman. Thank you. Now so yeah, for sure. There's nothing like mood swing between couples. This thing is mostly done by women, and this is my point. You see, most people have this experience. Mood swings. My mood is swing. Women have every justification to act poorly. Why do we train them to have justifications for poor behavior? Why do we train women to behave poorly and have a justification? And because of what is happening, I have to act poorly. And you must understand as a man, can't you know that this is happening? Can't these are the things we have created. Whereas if you have a challenge, it's your place to speak it with all love and care with your husband. This thing is disturbing me. If we give them that training, it's going to limit the actual problem which couples face. One day a neighbor
Mr. Wickham,
yes.
excuse me, you said something and I just want to say it.
Yeah.
Communication. Most of the
Yeah.
time we teach uh, our brothers, our children, how to communicate with their husbands. And believe me, there's this issue today that I am married, you understand, and I
Yes.
have an issue with my wife, and I
Yeah.
like, okay, what do I do? I call you and I say, well, boy, you see, madam don't do so. How you feel imagine say don't do so. How you think say are supposed to do. The advice you are going to give me is not an advice that will certainly work for my wife's
Yeah.
psychology. Maybe it
Yeah.
can work for another lady's psychology somewhere, but it will not work for my wife's psychology. And that is the mistake most ladies do, and some men also do. Like you have
Yeah.
an issue with your wife, or you're mad at your wife for something, and you like the first person you rush to, it's that your bestie that is not even happy that you are married, and you
Yeah.
don't even know. And you start explaining her the problem. Oh, and that's lady you are calling your bestie, she's the one that will start putting into your mind that, I know, I'm sure that, are they sure say your husband will cheat on you? And you need to check your phone. And you need to do this.
Ah!
And in most cases, sometimes we think that there is an issue with our spouses. Meanwhile, there's even no issue. By the time you start
Sincerely,
talking to your wife or to your spouse that, look at, the other day there was this thing and I was not happy because I don't even understand. You'll be even shocked that your husband or your wife will say that, Mama, I did not even notice me that issue. I was not even there. But the issue was in your mind. You were like, maybe I did this, he's offended, maybe. But he did not even notice.
and because you have next thoughts in your mind, you just
You have
said this,
next
and I,
thoughts in
rem-
your
and,
mind.
and, and I recall the story of a lady. There's a friend of mine that was like there's someone I know that got married to this lady. They are a happy couple. This guy is a pastor, and he's a friend, and I know him so well. He's not the He's not a cunning, trickish type that will go and be flirting around anyhow. And the guy has some. He has, aside being a pastor, he works and he's making money. So one time, some of my guys went there to do a coverage, and the lady is happy because she knows her husband and she's happy that she's married to her husband and they are cool. A friend of hers came to visit and was like, "Yeah, man, this you go for the check here." Like what you said, you give for the check here, you trust it, so you give for the check here. And those are people planting seeds. Like we said earlier, the women are always the target. She's like, no,
Yeah.
the man, like that's an indirect message to your subconscious. You that trusted your husband will start having doubts. And when you start having doubts, you start suspecting all of his activities. Even when there is nothing, you begin to see fault. It looks like a child that is passing through a graveyard and then he begins to see an electric pole. Everything looks like a ghost because he has frightful thoughts in his mind. And that's how you begin to see your man. And very soon you start acting poorly. Relationship or marriage don't cater. So these are the simple things we need to teach the girl child and the boy child. These are the part of the lessons that we need to actually instill in them. You see? And our brothers and children who are actually going to get married. So there's this deep knowledge of all of this. Me, the biggest challenge I have seen as one of the problems for most men, because I took time, we hear the women cry all the time. I took time to actually listen to the silent gender. That is the men that cry with their heartbreak and their alcohol and their high blood and all of those things. A friend of mine, I met him. He came to Yaoundé 2 years ago. He came back to, he was here and then he would travel and came back to town. 2 years ago, I've not seen him. I saw him in the course of the week. This guy is going through hell in the hands of his ex-wife, who happens to have a child with him. They separated and they're using the child as a tool. And there's this tool that these women usually do. You are the one to look for trouble, and you are the one that everybody is sympathizing with, because we have taught society to treat the men as though they don't have emotion. No, man picking his hand and stone and stick. And this guy, he has lost his person. I'm talking about somebody that used to be active, friendly, active. When you talk to him, he's just calm, and you see a degree of trauma and depression that has taken out his person from him. When he speaks, he's calm. He cannot speak well. This is the silent trauma that a lot of men go through. A lot of the time I communicate with him, he becomes incommunicado. I don't know what triggered him that we finally spoke and he opened up like this. And I'm like, man, boy, leave my soul, I don't understand. You see? Why? Because when we begin to train women to actually be giving voices and giving, I still repeat, one of the biggest problems is we have given justification to every bad fashion of a woman. If we give justification, it becomes normal. Let's stop normalizing the bad habits of women and teach them to be true queens. Empower them to be in their feminine prime. Learn things which women are supposed to do and do them well. Not you learning what men have to do. If you want to start learning what men have to do, you start thinking like men and you become a male in woman body. But if you learn how things which women are supposed to do and act them right, you will definitely be a queen and you definitely get yourself a king. A lot of the time, the common sense that you think you are having as a woman and applying wisdom. I don't mean to the guy the one serious. Yet I see communicate with the other guy who I believe flirt with. You think the guy does not know? The guy, men are smart. By the time he discovers some disconnection, he knows. And by the time you're trying to use your common sense, you're putting yourself in the category wolowos in his head. In the man's head, it's like, okay, me I be fixing, I be make life with you one better. That kind of to talk what I meant them. Man, you live at me. No matter why you make life with them. So you the woman, you think you're smart, but the man is there at midday until one day motive will come out your bonnie. And this is how a lot of them lose potential men. And they sit and say, after auto I don't do. If you look keenly, inside that also you be do. So other thing they be do where you know if you talk about them. And this is what I'm talking about. I grew up in a time where you will not sit in the house and there's a movie and they kiss. People should go and sleep. Go to your room.
Some of our younger sisters today don't know that they missed a potential husband just because they are too into Snapchat and TikToks and all the likes. There are some men There are some men they don't like exposure. By the
Yeah,
time they come into your life and they notice that you're this type of lady, you cannot
we
stay
don't
without posting something.
we don't like
All
open
the
food.
time you
We like
always
closed food. May fly no land for
yeah.
day. So
They just look
that
at you and say that they just classify you that this is now that kind of woman that I am not there.
you
You
see,
understand? So
and the
we should
way
know what we accept and what we do not
we
accept.
deny.
And what I will say is that to all of our sisters, husbands, brothers who are married and who are to marry is that you should know something once you're married. Your husband and your wife is your best friend or supposed to be your best friend, your number one bestie, because I don't think that a person that means bad to you is going to accept getting married to you. That is the
True.
only one person that ever trusted you with everything and accepted to marry you. So the person should be your number one best friend. Even if that man is the baddest of bad men, because they say every there's one proverb or one saying that says that every bad man is somebody's hero. You
Yeah,
understand? It means
yeah.
that today you're
Oh,
my friend. You're my friend today. I cannot believe you're doing bad. If I want to talk about you, I'll only be talking about the positive issues. But there's somebody somewhere that will be saying that Master, we come, Master, no try. That
that good
man,
man.
thing will do me a very bad thing, and a very bad man, and this and that. That is the issue that somebody's enemy is somebody's hero somewhere.
Best friend. Yeah.
So no matter how your wife is bad, be her best friend. No matter how your husband is bad, be your best friend. And it is this best friend relationship that is going to help you synchronize better with the person you are.
Awesome. Now this is
So
one very beautiful piece, and I think we've been talking for 3 hours and more. The conversation keeps going and it keeps getting interesting. Now, Lifespan, why don't you just shoot some key lessons that you think young men that want to get to marriage should consider, or parents should train their young men, and then we'll go to the ladies.
I think that uh, to be a man is not just to make money. To be a man is to have character,
Yeah.
is to have a personality. Because you can give money to a man who does not have character and the man will squander it all.
Yeah.
You can give a very good woman to a man who does not have character and the man will make the woman to live the most miserable life a person can ever live.
Yeah.
You can give children to a man with no character and personality. The man frustrates those children's lives. So, what I will say to our fathers, to
Yeah.
our brothers, is that if it is that you you lacked the training, if it is that you did not receive the training from your parents, you do yourself some auto parenting or some self parenting and work out your personality,
Yeah.
because personality is the engine of a man's life.
Yeah.
Character is the engine of a man's life. When the
Yeah.
Bible talks about a righteous man falling 7 times and rising up 7 times, it does not talk about righteousness from Christ. It talks about righteousness from character.
Yeah.
Character, why? Because Mr. Wickham, imagine that today there is fire and everything about EM Studio is squandered. It's gone.
Yeah.
Even if I send you 10 million, then Mr. Wickham, this is 10 million. Start up
Yeah.
with it. If you don't have character in your mind, you won't be able to get up to the level you are today with EM.
True.
Even if all of
True.
your fans gather up and say that, no, Wickham, no, I am sending Wickham a camera. I am sending Wickham the latest Pentium ever made. I am
Yeah.
sending Wickham money for 2 years house rent. Believe
Yes.
me, if you don't have character and personality, you won't be able to gather yourself back and get to this level. So it is the
Yeah.
same thing. Men, work out your personality, your character, and your mental health. It is very necessary to bring up a family, to bring up children, and to know how to go about grooming, because there's this issue we are forgetting.
Yes.
When you marry a woman, you are the groom. Who is a groom? A groom is a trainer, is a
You groom,
trainer.
and I like
You
the way they
have
put the
to
word.
groom. You have to continuously groom your wife. There are some women who are talkative by nature. You need
Yeah.
personality to groom that woman to say that, Mama, keep your mouth shut. Learn how to not to talk. And you will see it might take 1 year for some men to successfully change their or 2 years, or even maybe 1 week. You will see
Mm-hmm.
such a man like that when the woman start talking a lot. He will just have one type of look. He will look at the wife, and the wife will start posing breaks in her lips.
Mm-hmm.
And progressively, she is going to groom the woman into being a lesser talkative. And the same thing goes maybe to, we know women who are like having a lot of friends. And you know us like men, we don't always like when our women have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And it will take you character and personality to know the right words to use to tell your wife, start filtering the friends you are having. You are a
Yeah.
married lady. You should not be working with a woman who is doing this, doing that. You should know how to assist your wife and groom her into selecting her friends. And believe me, this might be shocking. There are some women who do not know how to boil rice. But
Yeah.
you know how to boil rice.
Yeah.
And believe me, I know of men, there are some men out there watching at us who taught their wives how to cook achu.
Yeah. True.
As difficult as achu soup and pounded Igbo cocoa is hard to do. There are men who taught their wives, this is how you hold a pistol, this is how you hit it, this is how you do this. They groomed their wife into having a certain character. So
Yeah.
that is what I would say to men. Have character and personality, because the success of your marriage, the one you're into today and the one you are going to dive into tomorrow, depend on 85% on your personality and your character.
Mm-hmm.
It is not all about having a job, having money. You can get
Now,
married, and after 1 month, you lose your job.
yeah. Now,
And there are some men that do not pick up after losing their job when they get married, and it start becoming difficult in their homes and everything. But it takes character and mindset to be able to pick up. So I will tell the men and round up and say that, men, you need to be your personality and your character. It is
wow.
very necessary for every
This
point of your life.
this is very deep and strong personality and character. Now, lifestyle, I want to find out something. You talk of grooming, and grooming, you should be able to groom the lady. What if you find yourself with a lady that does not listen? What should the guy do?
I
You
think
find
that
yourself with a lady that does not want to be groomed. That way you say something is now. I have guys that they call their wife opposition party. More make it come up for you before opposition party come. People find themselves in that
no,
situation. What should they do?
the issue is that you need to ask any person that has undergone a military training. Do you know why they
Yes.
say military people behave as if they have the same mind? It's
Why?
because they were formatted. Not everybody has the same personality when you embark on a military training, but once you finish your military training, despite your personality, all of you start behaving as if you people were made of the same mother. It's
Mm-hmm.
because there are techniques of training and of disciplining somebody that will make the person's difficult attitude to change, or to
Mm-hmm.
moderate, or to adapt depending on situations. So if you have a wife or a woman that you failed in grooming her, or she's not accepting your method of grooming, or she's not responding to your grooming, is because maybe you lack the necessary techniques and the necessary information to groom that particular character. Except except if the woman is controlled by spirits, or is there's witchcraft in that issue. But for a normal brain, as stubborn as the person can be, there is always a method of grooming. If you try and it does not work,
Yeah.
talk to
See,
her and find out the reason. Sometimes we have problems and we try to solve the problems, but we don't look at the origin of the problems.
yeah,
You understand? We don't look at the origin of the problem. There might be fire under the pot, but you are not seeing the fire, and you're like saying that this pot is always hot.
it's hot.
You put the pot, you put cold water, the pot is always hot. But you need to instead off the
The
fire
fire.
for the pot to get cool.
Because there are some ladies that actually don't even know that they are behaving poorly when they're actually doing it. So when you finish talking, you talk down on their own. Any even understand say it do this thing doesn't a bad thing. Like they don't get the point that this thing is offensive or whatever. You get the point.
That
So
is why I'm saying that there are some points that Mr. Wickham, we are an African society. There are
yeah,
some points that when a woman does not get things rightly, especially things that are rational, she does not get it rightly. I
yeah.
bet you that there should be witchcraft involved. The woman is not sinful, as we used to say. The woman is not sinful. Let me just take, for example, this an example. You
Yeah.
are a man, you love to be organized, for instance. You love to be organized, but you get married to a lady who don't know much about organization, because she was like living in a house where there was a house help who was doing all the organization. And anytime the woman maybe finish doing laundry, she does not know how to adjust dresses and pack dresses. Believe me,
Mhm.
if the lady is a normal lady, when I talk about normal, I am not talking about a mad person. I'm saying about someone who has every faculty intact
Reasoning
and is
purpose functioning
rational, functioning, and is well organized, and is yeah, is normal, responsible, you understand, and has a
well.
good heart. When you start showing the lady how to pack dresses, like this is where you put shirt, this is where you fold trousers, and you are doing it with her. You are not just doing it alone, because there's something. There are people who like do it alone. They say that, master, this girl does not know how to do this. I will just do it by
The
myself.
bad shift my duam, shift my duam.
Yeah, Chief Madwam. She will never learn, and every day you'll be calling your brother and say, master, my wife is very disorganized. Eh? She's very disorganized. No, you need to call her and you say that, take this shirt, pack it, take this trouser, pack it, take this one, pack it. You do it alongside with her. Believe me, in the space of 2, 3, 4 months, you will be shocked that one day you return home, she has done laundry and she has packed everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is how, in a normal situation, it functions. But if you have somebody that you train, you work with a person for 1 year, and the person does not accept to do what you're showing the person diligently with love, it means that the person either is not interested in doing it and does not have the goodwill to want to learn to do it, or the person is bewitched and is under
Yeah.
a spiritual influence. So
Mhm.
that is what I
Wow,
can say.
that's really beautiful. I think it's in a nutshell. We can say men to have that character, um, that personality, and they should be very patient with women as well. Now, let me look at some comments. It says, if you find yourself a wife that isn't ready to be groomed, you should enjoy since you're already married. I don't think I will go for this kind of advice. So you are right, sir. There are always a way to solve a problem. Because there's this thing that I have heard this thing a lot. Eh? They will just come with a baggage of bad habits and come and hang it on the man like that. And a lot will not even want to listen. So you see, most men, you see a lot will find solace in alcohol, some will find solace in the Zen bureau, some will find after they don't talk tire, and then finally they'll finally say, Mami, you go.
And
So
Mr. Wickham, there's this point we should not leave this platform without mentioning this point.
yeah,
There is something that today in our society we neglect. There's this
yeah,
point that French people call renseignement.
mm-hmm,
That is investigation.
yeah,
Believe me, before getting married to either a man or a woman, do some follow up. Don't just put love and emotions and say that, I love him, I love her, she's everything I see. Oh, if I don't get married to her, I will die. No, you will not die, my brother.
the people
Do
that at the same time,
investigation.
uh-huh,
Do investigation because believe me, if you want or you don't, there are some ladies that you can get married to them and you don't successfully groom them because you don't know about their past.
yeah,
There are some ladies that were traumatized as a kids in
yeah,
their house, in wherever they grew up. There are
yeah,
ladies who ended up growing with their grandmothers in the village, did not receive proper attention from their parents, from their there are some who ended up with aunties. There are even some who grew up with their own biological parents but did not receive the necessary attention
yeah,
given.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, they grew up to have several trauma
yeah,
that they live. And they carry all those things and come into your house with it. And you, as a husband, you start living hell. You start going all through all those things because you don't even know the origin of it. You don't
yeah,
know the origin. So, if you don't know the origin, you cannot solve it.
true, true,
You cannot solve the problem. So, I encourage everyone do research,
mm-hmm,
investigate the person you are wanting to spend your lifetime with, being a man or a
yeah,
investigate because there are certain trauma we receive from maybe our past relationships. Maybe you went out with a lady in your past that did terrible things and it traumatized you. Look at the friend you're talking about. Look at
yeah,
the friend you're talking about that he was a very social person but ended up in a divorce and a child and are using the child to do sabotage and
yeah.
everything.
The
Look
guy
at the
is
situation.
damaged. I mean, very
If
damaged.
if you are a woman and you get into that man's life to get into marriage with that person, be sure that you are getting married to a man with a trauma and
Yeah,
be sure that you will not live a fulfilled marriage if you don't solve that trauma. You ought
yeah,
to solve that trauma and you cannot solve that trauma if you are not aware about it.
yeah.
So you need to do research.
Groundwork, background check.
You
Do your
need to
homework.
do research. You need to do homework before getting involved with such a man or such a lady. There are many people. When I will meet you today, I don't know what you lived with maybe Vanessa 4 years ago. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what Jessica did to you last
Yeah,
year, and I am involving myself with you this year. I don't know
yeah,
what training your mother gave to you. I don't know what you enjoyed growing up as a girl. And even the frustrations you receive in your society, I don't know those things.
yeah.
And I am taking you into my house today.
To risk
Be
my
sure
life
that
to come and give
be
me.
sure that there are some attitude that I will be facing that will be in response to the trauma you had in your past life. So I think that this is a point we should be doing. We should go in for serious investigations every time we want to engage with any lady or any man.
Yeah.
And if we
This.
do that, believe me, there are many relationships that will end before they even want to start.
Yeah. True. So that I think these key points are very very vital, and they this is one that's the best damage control we can do to ourselves. Now, can you just give us a few lights of some of the things that women now should concentrate on the girl child, like the kind of education that should be given as a key points that the girl child should take into consideration, or parents should take when educating their girl child and preparing her for marriage? Can you throw us a little bit light on that side as well?
In this our generation, what I would say to our parents and to our girl children listening, our sisters listening, uh, the first thing I will say is that take this device. I am showing this device because this is the device, the Apple device. I don't want to say phone. Take this device away from our young ladies. This
Yeah,
is the first thing I will say.
yeah,
All this internet issue, believe me, internet is more bigger than what we imagine to be, and you need
yeah,
to have a certain maturity to be able to deal with what with the internet world today. We have ladies uh, who who lost their lives because they did not use this device carefully. They did not use this device well. We have
mhm,
we have men, our brothers, who did not use this device carefully and they got into problems. So what I will say is that take digital world away from our sisters, our
mhm.
young ladies, and bring them back to the ancient way. I know many ladies today who don't know how to turn water fufu, but their best dish they love to eat is water fufu and arrow. You see the irony.
Yeah,
So that is something that we need to be doing. Instead of going through Facebook, looking reels of people how they are cooking, uh, arrow, looking for recipes for arrow, you need to be in the kitchen.
yeah,
They need to work on their personality. So parents should take this device away from ladies. And secondly, I want to say that uh, the girl child should be should should be taught decency
mhm,
because some days back there's a comment I think you posted and they were like saying that why men, the reason why ladies are doing makeup is because us men we love ladies who do makeup and who look good.
yes.
It
I
is
will push them.
and we push them. It is a complex and it is false. Men love women who are decent. Men
Yeah,
love women who are responsible. And whenever a lady is like into makeups, behaving as all these show star artists,
oh, Barbie,
dressing
oh,
half naked, uh, doing all these eyelashes and long nails issues, whenever a man looks at you, the thing they see is just a toy, a playing ground.
they
And
use it for
because
the
it is something, yeah, and because it is something new, they will want to experience. Let me see this babe that is so hot like that. Let me taste it and experience what it is.
yeah,
And that is what it is, how it is going to end. But when a man will see a lady who is decently dressed, who does not talk anyhow, who is naturally hairstyled,
and composed.
believe me, before the man will want to say any rubbish to that lady, the man is going to like think
Yeah,
twice.
yeah,
The man is going to think twice and uh, before getting any conversation with that woman. And
yeah,
that is the issue we need to let our sisters know. We are
yeah.
pleading on you to be decent. All those things you people see in movies or video clips
Social media, TikTok.
are just for fictional purposes. They are just for fictional purposes. So you need to be decent.
Yeah.
I think that these two issues I have said, I
The
think they
key.
cover up. They are the key. The other ones are just
And they still
the
fall inside.
yeah. They still fall inside. They still
Mhm.
fall inside. And the last point is that ladies, please be humble. Learn how to be humble. Teach your daughters how to be humble.
Mhm.
A humble woman,
I think,
a humble woman will win the most cruel president's hearts in the world.
yeah.
Teach your daughters to be humble. Even your boys, teach them to be humble. Humility, they say humility precedes glory. That is what they say. So I
Mhm.
think those are the three key issues.
Now let's take this
Like
comment.
you earlier said, when you cannot be at your home and you want to buy gas, you allow your kid sister go and buy the gas. You cannot
Yeah.
see a woman, a mother doing something and you allow her, you go and help
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So ladies should be humble. Some ladies have missed their opportunities for a successful marriage because they were not humble.
Yeah.
They decided to
Truly.
put ego before and
And
they
you're there
lose
proving a
everything.
point.
Yeah. So to me,
Sometimes
those are the 3 points I can say.
sometimes it's good for you to be stupid as a lady and maintain your good image with your man than to be proving a point and win an argument, then you lose him. When you begin to argue too much to prove it. Every man has a good time. There's a way you will say a thing to a person that will determine whether the person will accept it or not. You have to do this one. You don't know how to treat them, and you treat a lady right. There are ways you can do it, and there's a way you will tell that man that same thing and he will do it. There's a way you tell that man that same thing and you tell him to disappear from his face. So those devices are the tactics. Me, I want to just add that ladies know the tactics. Femininity, like being a female, being your feminine nature comes with softness. Be soft. Men like softness. When you begin to prove that you're strong, the man is the one that is strong, psychologically, emotionally, physically. The woman is the one that is soft. When you begin to prove that you are strong, you will get more of a resistance and opposition than the love that you are trying to make him to release. And that his resistance is to make you to be soft. So why the more you prove you're strong, the more resistance you get and the more oppressed you become. Because they have this thing of running man, running man, running man, then go and sit and start crying. So what do you gain in all of that? Just be a woman. Like there's no point you're to prove. Be a woman in your feminine nature, in your ultimate femininity, and stay there and watch how your softness and feminine nature brings down your man, the lion. I'll end by saying this story. There was a lady that actually went to a native doctor that his husband is a very wild man. He's very wild. The native doctor told her to bring the mustache of a lion. That's the thing that is going to solve the problem. This lady went that she has just 7 days to do that from the time they are talking. If not, she just forget. This lady went and on the 6th day, she came with a mustache of the lion. That lady doctor said, go back. You don't have any problem. Your problem is yourself. If you can bring the mustache of a lion, then you can make any animal, any wild animal in a man to calm down by using your female tactics. Today, we are teaching women to use their male tactics. Why who taught them that they are male? I don't know. Use your femininity to cage the beast in the man. Knowing how to do that is going to help you secure a happy home. Stop winning arguments and win your home. Stop seeking validity from people outside and seek validity from your home. Having 3 child and a man going to sleep outside is not the benefit, even if the whole world sympathizes with you. Everybody can support you to condemn the man, but their condemnation is not going to bring the love of the man to you. Work on his heart. Work to bring him back to stay home. A man can only stay in a home, not just a house. And you are the one as a woman that makes a home, a house a home with the way you manage it. So please, we can do better and try as much as possible to be a woman and not a man. And the one thing is that a man's pride is his woman. Once you start becoming vulnerable, that's why I love the point that Lifespan made on having dignity and being close. Once you start becoming vulnerable, you become an exposed food that even flies can land on it. And those people you're vulnerable with are those flies that will come and shit on you. A man, even if you want to eat and then a flies shit on top the come and poo on the food, you will not have the appetite to eat it again. And when you become vulnerable, when you're vulnerable, there is you might not go and meet the people, but eventually one day it's going to lead you to meeting the people, or you could be in a compromising state. Just have your good morals, know when to close your doors and know when to be open. Forget about random advice from up, down, left, center. At a certain point, you might be getting the things that you want to hear, and it's going to make you feel like you are correct. Sometimes it's better to be wrong and have a happy home than to be correct and destroy your family. Sometimes there's a lot of sacrifices to be done. So I believe we can do better, and we can have beautiful families. You can have beautiful society, and we can change the narrative from all this indecency. What we call fashion today is indecency. What we call a flex today is you. If 10 men can have you, you are a harlot. It's not a flex. If 10 men can have access to you, it is not a flex. Everybody wants me, everybody wants me. Cheap good is what everybody goes for. The ones that have value, the real people go for those ones. So you categorize yourself whether you are a cheap good or a valuable good by the things you do, by the ways you do your own things, and the kind of way you go around your stuff. So we can do better. And guys, always have your personality. First of all, be a good person, let love lead, and let your things you do be out of love, but never compromise your standards. Never compromise your standards. Let things you do be out of love, but don't compromise your standards. And be the man that you're supposed to be. There's a lot we can talk about, but at a certain point, we have to let it go so that we can have time to catch up and meet up with other engagements. I want to say a big shout out to all our panelists, and I'm very grateful to Lifespan for creating that time out of a busy schedule to be there today. And equally, all our faithful commenters. I don't know if we call all the name them. I say I don't. So at this point in time, we want to say, I don't know, Lifespan, have anything to add up?
I'll round up by giving this last words. I want to say to our men out there that being a gentleman is not just to know how to open the door before our ladies to enter so that they can enter, or
Yeah.
just to pull a seat for them to sit down. No, that is not what being a man entails, or a gentleman entails. Being a gentleman is also to know your position and stand, and knowing and learning how to say no. Because you need to also understand that there's a school of learning how to say no. It is very, very difficult for some people to say no. There are just
Yeah.
some people who don't know how to say no. And
Yeah.
whenever they think of saying no, they think that if they are saying no, they will be regarded as bad people. No. Being a
Yeah.
gentleman is knowing how to say no. And to our ladies, I want to bring this point of correction. When I say that we should take this device out of our ladies' hands, it does not mean that taking the device out of our ladies' hands, it is sending them to the kitchen. No, it is that taking this device out of our ladies' hand, it is to give them the opportunity and time to be able to learn what it is necessary of learning and knowing. See, today our daughters don't know how to play what they call CISO. This CISO word, it is only old school people who know it. Today, all
Yeah.
of our daughters, they are into phones. You see a girl walking in the street. The other day in Bonas, a lady fell into the gutters because she was busy walking on the road looking at her phone. She was not even looking where she was stepping her
Where's was
leg,
going?
and
Yeah.
she hurt herself very badly. She
You see.
hurt herself very badly. So that is why I say that we should take the device. The device is not taking the phone. it is limiting internet access, limiting internet privileges to ladies in relation to their ages, because today it is a digital world, and there are many things that you need to teach. You will need to teach your children through digitalization.
Yes. Yeah.
There are many things you will need to teach your children through digitalization, but taking this device away from your daughters is teaching them that this device is not just to buy a selfie stick and be twerking in front of the device,
And
or
let it
be
colonize
showing
your life.
or be showing your be adopting indecent attitudes
Yeah.
uh,
And start selling your
before the
market to
society.
people to be frying you. Hmm.
So we need we need to be responsible, and we need to tell ladies that there are other things away from Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. There are other things you can learn your daughters. I know of ladies who know how to sing, who know how to play instruments, piano. Like for instance, in England, they have this cultural issue. Every lady knows how to play a piano or a musical instrument.
Yeah.
And you don't play a musical instrument if you spend all of your day into phones. And believe me, there's something that is happening uh, 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 in this white man land, in Oyibo culture.
Yeah.
Every child has a dedicated activity that they are doing, that the parents are parenting them into, and they spend less time with their devices.
Hmm.
Whenever they go to school, they have school work they are doing, and they always have a sports activity they are doing, or they have a cultural activity they are doing. You will ask every child that goes to school here, the child will tell you that I am learning how to play piano, I am doing soccer, I am doing football. And believe me, the time you take your child into learning a, a dedicated skill in her
Yeah.
life, she will not have time to be doing Snapchat,
Gallivanting. Yeah.
to be gallivanting. And I have this friend of mine. The guy always admire the way I do a lot of things and the skills I am doing. The guy was like, "Boy, you are inspiring me. How did you learn how to do this?" I told him that the free time I had, I always move around to learn things.
Hmm.
During my holidays, for instance, when I was still in secondary school, during
Yeah.
my holidays, because I did not have access to playing football, to devices, to PlayStation or Nintendo,
Yeah.
I had to look for something to occupy myself. I had to go to garage. I had to
Yeah.
start bringing spanner 12, spanner 13, go and look for spanner this. And believe me, today I have a car. I don't pay to change my brake pads. I don't pay to change my oil. I don't pay to change to replace my windscreen wipers. I don't,
Yeah.
because somewhere in my adolescent age, I learned those skills. So
How to do them.
taking taking the device away from your daughters and from your sons is like teaching them to do something else.
Wow.
Take your children. You organize music classes during holidays at A Pictures, at
Yeah.
iMedias.
Yeah.
Parents should take your daughters to your classes to learn how to play piano,
Yeah.
to learn how to
That-
play
that's
saxophone.
yeah.
By the time they spend quality time playing piano, it is going to be engaging, and they will spend less time trying to enter Facebook. They will not have time for Snapchat.
Yeah. And
If so, if so,
yeah.
they will be going into Snapchat to look how someone is playing piano, to
Yeah.
be
No.
able to get something new the next time they are coming for a piano class.
Thank
So
you.
that is what I mean, taking your devices away from your daughters.
Now this
So
is this is this this, this thanks for this clarification. And I noticed that a lot of people who are from serious families, They don't actually have that time to be socializing too much. You look at them, they have a profile either locked or with one picture there or no picture and about 200 friends if it's too much, or 25 friends like that. You see, you look at them, they don't even find anything interesting in exposing their butts and shaking. But you see the ones from the that are loose like that, they will be the ones shaking the butt and looking for market. When you shake those butts, you're giving a sexually appealing message to those who want to eat you, who want to fry. They come and fry. So I must say it was a very interesting life, and I myself have learned a lot from this life today, and definitely I believe a lot of you reading your comments as well. So at this point, we're going to pack our bags out of the studio and see you again next week, 8 p.m. Stay good to more updates on our platforms. We have a lot. We have lots and lots and lots and lots of amazing information which will be dishing out to you. Have a blessed night and see you all tomorrow. And see you next week, and wishing you all a great week. Au revoir.